till you get your own self together. It's like when people say, if you want to be in a relationship, you know what I'm saying, you got to heal yourself. You can't come in with baggage. So we right now, Black Americans are cleaning their house. They're not worried about not one other group, not nobody else on earth, because nobody worried about us for the last 200 years. And why is it a problem that we celebrate ourselves? Nobody else runs into friction when they just say they celebrating ourselves. Nobody complains about the Caribbean parade or the Jamaican flag. As soon as Black people throw up their flag, the rest of y'all go crazy. You know why? Because you know when you see that FBA flag, the tethering is over. The benefits are over. The being Black when it's convenient is over. All your programs. Like, for instance, this is a foundational Black Americans support this channel. We're the Nigerians and the Ghanaians and the blood that support Sarnetta. This is what I'm saying. When you look at when you look at Umar Johnson, he wants to build a school for Africa. Who funded his school?
Right,
Foundational Black Americans. You look at Doodle Butter with his Jamaican ass. Who's funding that fucking scam in New York? Foundational Black Americans. Even on this channel, you get a few Africans here and there, but why is it all foundational Black Americans at the center of everything?
Right.
Everything. It's us just like they want to get us in this immigrant thing right now. Why? Because don't nothing move without us, because we got that 100%. Spirit, and they know they got to stay attached to it if they want anything to be successful. Why not take care of your own house first? We don't gotta hate. I love Africans. I love Korea. I love them all. But let's take care of our own house first and let them handle their own business.
No hate.
And let me just say this. There's an African that was on TikTok that was talking about how he was getting like some land built, right? And he hired a bunch of Mexicans and also Blacks. Do you know that those Mexicans went to him and said, listen, we will cut the price if you actually like fire all the Black people that were on the job. Wow. And he went on TikTok and really had a problem with this. You know what I'm saying? So there's a thing going on. Not just we only talk about the Africans and what they're doing, but there's also even with the Mexicans and the immigrants and this, they all stick together. Listen, I get my cousin, my uncle, we'll do this whole job for you for free, and or for a little or nothing, you just fire them. So we have to really understand we're under attack.
All right. Asar Mka, you got your work cut out for you, man. Lex has laid down the groundwork. He's pulling away with the W. You got to bring him back home, brother. Let's go.
This is easy work.
Easy work. Oh,
so
about to see some crazy stuff.
So there's two things. I know, right?
Get him, little man.
They really pulling away. Huh? This here, pick it up and watch it. Or go with your Grammy. Now, there's two things. One, we're operating backwards. Why are you going to a place that doesn't have a higher economic value than yours and looking for a job? Arabs come here, Hindus.
No, we're not looking for a job. Again, they just cherry pick. And that's why I hate these platforms where all these people are on the panel, because you can't get a real intimate conversation. It's like, yo, that was never the thing. We're trying to get jobs in Africa. The question was, how do we benefit by going to Africa? And the opposing argument was Africans benefit when they come over here because they seek employment. So can there be a quid pro quo? It's like, okay, so how do we benefit from Africa by going to Africa? Are there jobs for us? And like you just said, the answer is clearly no. So it's like, again, what's the benefit? There is no benefit. We bring our pockets, we bring our dollars, and they try to find ways to get us to spend our money so their economy can thrive. That's the only benefit. It's a one-way benefit. So go ahead with this Afrocentric talk. I know it's gonna be goofy.
Come here, Mexicans come here, the world comes to America, they come to Europe. You know why? Because they can make money
off of us.
Why would you go somewhere where there's no, they don't make money off of you. Generally,
they come to the Black community.
It's not your
one at a time. Let them go, Lex.
when Mexicans come here, you don't see anybody working at their shop but Mexicans. So you know Lex is lying. If you see Hindus come here, you don't see anybody working in their shop but Hindus. Because they know that once they have the ability to make that American dollar, they can make it back home and they can make it here. And
but that's intelligence, though.
Exactly.
But that's intelligence, though.
And
you can't be mad at the Mexicans for only hiring his people.
I'm not. And this is my point.
Hold on, what?
This is my listen for cutting me off.
I'm sorry, but Saj just said something crazy.
Cutting me off.
No, I didn't. I'll break it down when my man me. When I saw finish, I'll break it down, Lex.
Okay.
God dog. So
and Lex ain't leaving nothing.
Yeah, sit down for 2 seconds. When you go to Africa, you shouldn't be looking to get a dollar. You should be looking to create the dollars for yourself and for them.
And for them, what are we talking about now? So again, I'm just confused. So when we go to Africa, we should be looking to create a dollar. There's no dollars in Africa. The dollars are coming the dollars are in our pocket coming from America. Again, like this is that Pan-Africanist dream. You're gonna go to Africa, you're gonna start these crazy businesses that grow to be corporations, and we're gonna be competing with Jeff Bezos. I mean, this is foolishness, man. It's nothing there in Africa. Your dollar ain't going nowhere in there. You're just gonna spend it. That's it.
You go to Europe, that's when you look to cook and to ask for money. Why? Because the euro is worth more than the American dollar. So why would you go somewhere that they don't have money and ask them for money instead of going to Europe, where people go to in order to gain economics, because they have the highest dollar, the euro. This is what I'm talking about. You work and operate backwards.
Okay, so why don't this Afrocentric dude show us the way? So it goes back to proof of concept. All these guys got the answer, Sway, but none of them you could go from Umar to Garvey to this guy. They all got the answer, Sway, but none of them can show and prove. None of them can say, look what I'm doing in Africa. I got this thriving. My business generate, let's say, $1 million a year or 2 or 3. I make this much. I'm employing this many Africans. None of them got that proof of concept story. It's just fantasy, like it's always have been. And we're done listening to fantasy. We heard it from Marcus Garvey. We heard it from the ACS. We heard it from Umar. And now people like him is spreading fantasy. No, show us. You heard the old foolish elder who called himself Baba Smalls. He's supposed to have bought property in Ghana. Okay. I'm like, what's up? Show us your riches. Show us how you're just living large now, or you're housing so many Ghanaians and you got jobs and the infrastructure. No, it just bought property. That's like come on, man. That Moorish doctrine.
Second thing, you see people who come here, migrate, make money, and send it home.
Ron Moscow.
Africans are the only dummies who come here, migrate, and won't send the money back home.
Yes, they do. Okay, now he's foolish. Yes, they do. Okay, see, I'm somebody who studies this stuff. And that's what's helped causing the brain drain in Nigeria, because it's called remittances. See, this is what happened. Here's the problem with remittances. That's a bad thing, by the way. He's a fool. That's a bad thing. When you send back remittances, that means people are getting unearned income. So there's no incentivized to get up and work and build your homeland up when you can sit on your raggedy ASS and just collect money from a relative in America working. So what happened to all the hard work? No, you can do two things. They can send money back while you bust your ASS in Nigeria and build the infrastructure. But I'm telling you, y'all can chat GPT, just Google it. Remittance is a bad thing in a lot of times for countries, because again, it doesn't incentivize people to work and be innovative and be creative and be inventors and innovators. It doesn't. You sit on your butt and you wait for your cousin, your auntie, your uncle, your mom, your son, your daughter to send you, nephew, niece, to send you some money, unearned income. And they do it, bro. So again, like these are clowns who, when they come over here, you see what happened to that RBG guy, that Pan-Africanist, the UNIA guy. They get cooked. Like I know their history better than them. This is another one. He just lying. Africans do the same thing everybody else do. They send back the money, remittance. They do the same thing.
If you're African American,
More
why?
peace.
Because you're scared
Home
to
to where?
That's what I'm saying. This is our home.
Why is he still talking? So I put him in the back.
You see, you heard he said some stupid stuff. He said, now he called Africa our home. See, when they do that, they really just placing us in Wakanda because we want to know where at. You're saying Africa like there's a country called Africa. There's 54 countries in the continent called Africa. All those 54 countries that make up Africa. Which one of those countries is our home? These guys are like to rant and rave. That's all they do. It doesn't work over here because we hold you to what you say. Everything you say will be and can be used against you on a biased
wasn't me.
podcast.
That was that wasn't.
I'm sorry. That was me. That was me. I said that home to where. I'm sorry.
When you think millionaire minded,
Nicole
you're thinking,
Thompson, peace.
I
Let me
can go
mod
over
you
here
up.
and I can retire. You want to try to go
Peace to the
retire
fam,
in
Nicole.
Alabama,
Welcome.
where you
Just
know
like
you
the video.
could get
That's all.
lynched next week.
Subscribe, like the video.
If you really want to live in,
okay, so now that's the liberal positions. They're going to scare us into their way of thinking. You could be lynched next week. Oh, here we go. Oh, the phantom lynchings. Okay.
Africa and make money with Africa and with your brothers and sisters and make that connection and live.
So why don't, I'm sorry I keep pausing, but I have to address this. So why don't you show us how it's done? Why don't you show us your riches and how well you're doing in Africa by doing business with the Africans in Africa? Show us. Stop painting a picture so we could be the lab rats. Just show us.
Live a healthy and wealthy life without worrying about police brutality and all these other things. Your real escapism.
Oh, no. We're not gonna fall for that. They got their government over there in these black countries are way worse than ours. We can actually sue our government. You did. You see, Diddy went to trial against the government, and people claim that as a win. You did. Same thing with Young Thugger. There's no trial over there. Like they got authoritarianism, they got dictatorship, and we all know they got the most corrupt governments in the world. I mean, what's the rights? We can just Google Burkina Faso right now. There's no freedom of speech. There's no First Amendments. There's no constitution. They suspended the constitution. So most of those countries like Mali and all these places that you guys call Wakanda, a lot of their constitutions are suspended. Go look it up. You know, y'all got wrenches. And if I'm wrong, ask for the phone number and then we'll look it up together. But their constitutions in these countries are suspended. The women got less rights. You dig? The women are being, they call it genitalia mutilation. You dig? That's what's going on over there. Children dealing with all type of trafficking. You dig? No, that does not work over here, man.
That you claim you talk about.
Peace, Claire.
You'll learn a different language. You'll get on your economic P's and Q's, and you'll start to do business with home, just like every other culture does. Because
so he called it home again. Nicole, I gave you a wrench. All I asked in return, just like the video.
Because they're smart. And for some reason, the African American has left his brain in a trailer park
see, world best
somewhere,
breeders, so they charge
whip that they was hitting
more.
You with
we
when
know
you
that.
came
They
over
inflate the
here on
prices.
the good ship Jesus. The first
See that disrespect right there, y'all?
So where do we send the money?
Wait. What do you say?
Somewhere or on that whip the culture does because they're smart. And for some reason, the African American has left his brain in a trailer park somewhere or on that whip that they was hitting you with when you came over here on the good ship Jesus. The first
See, they all talk like that. Either they're tether or the black conservatives or the Afrocentrics. They all talk to us like a white supremacist and big up another race. The black conservatives talk to us like white supremacists and they big up white people. Tethers, they also big up white people. And Afrocentrics, they like to big up Africans. And by saying they're so smart, right? But they can't get out of their own way. And we're just so dumb. But we're like the greatest blacks in the world. Like just compare us to anybody. We're gonna win hands down. And we're just a regular group of people. They are a whole country. Like we shouldn't even be compared with them. if you was to compare us to that whole country, like we're running in circles around them, not even close.
See that disrespect right there, y'all?
So where do we send the money?
Hold on.
You need to go over there, set up shop, and then you start to send it to your business.
Now look how vague he is. Go over there, set up shop, set up your business. Yeah, the average FBA ain't got a business. Like most of us work. We just work. But he's assuming, like, what type of business? Like some of us business are like side jobs. Like just because you got a business doesn't mean like it's livable. You can live off it. It probably helps with bills. Like let's be realistic, bro. Everybody don't got a business that employ 30 to 100 people. Come on, man.
That you set up over.
Let them finish.
Over here, you can't buy a business. You could barely afford your house. But you mad at America. But you won't leave America. You know how convoluted you sound?
That's a straw man.
The riches of us here. My partner, Robert Smith, I'm in Colorado. That's the homie. Robert Smith is here. I said, man, you should set up a school in Montbello. He set up a school in Montbello. That's the richest of us here. He's the most effective of us here.
He was financial advisor.
And guess what he does?
You got it.
He still travels. He has hospitals in Africa, hospitals in Europe, hospitals over here. He worth about $6 billion. You're not worth none of that.
So did you guys
do business with home?
Honey, you don't know what I'm worth.
Right, hold on, y'all. Let me say this right quick now for Lex.
So you see, it's not real order. Like people just get on there and speak for 10 minutes about random stuff. They don't really get challenged, you know.
You could be mad all you want to, but I'm not mad for the Mexicans only hiring their people. I'm not mad. Be quiet, man. Let me finish. I'm not mad at the Dominicans, at the Spanish, at the Arabs, at the goddamn Chinese, man, hiring their own people for work. I'm not upset at that. To me, that's called intelligence. And what they are doing is they are living out the first law of nature. And what is it? First, self-preservation. We are the only dum-dums that want to look out for every goddamn body. So when we get...
See, you heard him? We are the only dum-dums that want to look out for everybody. Okay, so when we just said we're done with that, we're delineating, then they get mad at us. They get mad at us. All right, so which one is it? Are we the dum-dums that look out for everybody? Or are we the dum-dums that are delineating? You can't make, see, he said he talked both ways out of their mouth. Okay, so now look, let's do it again. We're the dum-dums for doing everything for everybody. You're right. So now we're delineating and we're still wrong. So when are we right? Things like that you got to catch.
Business. We want to bring in the Mexicans, the Africans, the Arabs, and we want to open our floodgates for every goddamn body. That's showing you that you don't have enough love for self first. You got to love yourself first, brother. So I'm not mad at nobody for hiring their people first. They doing the right thing. We got to learn from that. The Jews, when you look at the Jews, they're doing the right thing, brother.
All right, so
learn from that.
Let me respond.
That's because they united.
Hold on. So,
right, and we are united. We're united under a lineage, but y'all mad at us for uniting. Yeah, this is wild. So they're telling us what we should do, and we're already doing it, and then they're mad at us for doing what they said we should do.
Thank you. You just buried yourself.
Right.
And don't even know it. So a moment ago, we was talking about everyone's black, Pan-African. If that's the case, then you
The Lexus caught him. He said, you buried yourself. Told you, man, you let them talk long enough, and you just have your mind ready, and you got them.
Should definitely be with FBA. Yes, you just said you don't care if they hide it. I thought we was all together.
Right.
Now you're talking about self-preservation. But when black Americans are saying we taking care of ourselves, y'all want to argue and try to Africanize us and throw in Africa. And then, hold on, let me, bro, watch this. Now watch this. And then he insulted us just like a tether. He said, y'all said this is intelligence when they come here and do this. See how they insult our lineage? If they're so intelligent, why they couldn't do it in their own homeland?
Right.
We built this.
They can't build it up at all.
We're the intelligent.
Because they know black people are dumb. They know black people are
because I was burning you.
Because they know black people are dumb and blind.
So I didn't land my plane.
Yeah. Lex is cooking. Sarnetta and that dude Asar with the Egyptian name. He's cooking both of them.
I know it hurt.
Now look, old boy was able to. The Egyptian guy was able to spew his bullshit for like 15 minutes straight, and he wasn't connecting no dots, making no sense. Lex come in and cook him for like just what 1 minute, and Sarnetta cuts in and throws shade. Oh, we're just dumb. Okay, just let Lex cook because he's definitely cooking.
I didn't land my plane, but you cut me off.
Intelligent. Why did they have to
Man,
run
your plane
and
ain't
flee
got
from
your
their
plane ain't
homelands
got
and come to a
wings to
place
land.
we built? When you look at
Diamond
America,
piece.
why would we go?
Watch
Why
it.
would we go? Why am I getting cut off, bro? I know it hurts. When
Hey,
you
that's
look at
right.
when you look at America, right? Why would we go somewhere else that we already have everything we're looking for and that we built, that our ancestors built? That would be the non-intelligence. They're coming here off of what we built. We built this financial empire. So they're not intelligent because they're intelligent. You can't come out of your raggedy ass house, come in my house and say you're more intelligent than me.
Lex
You couldn't even do it in your own homeland. Now check this out. Let's reverse the game. Let's take all the Africans, my last thing.
Exactly.
If we take all the Africans out of Africa, right? And put foundational Black Americans in Africa, there'd be a goddamn war. They would not take advantage of our resources like that. We would not sit down and be treated like some goddamn monkeys like them. Nigga, there'd be straight war. They would not do that. We different, bro. And so them people coming over here is not intelligent because if they were so intelligent, nigga, they got their own land and they still can't compete in the world with all the resources. So don't try to.
They're so intelligent. They come into a land that's already built, that's already furnished. Okay, already furnished, already innovated. Everything is running smooth. It just plug and play, and they plug themselves in and they play, and they're getting credit for being smart because they're plug and play immigrants. We actually did the hard work. We actually built this. We actually faced discrimination, no rights that a white man's bound to respect, Jim Crow, all y'all know the background. 40, the renege of the 40 acres and a mule. We did all of that. And we're still here doing better than most blacks in the world, but we're not intelligent. But people come here and just plug and play. They're the intellectual blacks. Like, stop it.
Don't disrespect my lineage talking about it's intelligent and then be hypocrites and say, I don't mind if the Mexican hires foundational Black Americans. I'm only hiring foundational Black Americans now. We only dealing with self-preservation.
Yeah, so Lex in the building. Everybody just really giving you your flowers, bro. This is part 2 because it was like a 2 hour and some change dialogue. And we just really just with our mouth just on the floor, pause, at the way you and Queen handle all of these haters, bro. Yeah, they won't let you talk. They cutting you off. They contradict themselves. You caught them. I caught them. You're doing a phenomenal job, bro, representing.
So if you have that law, then why are you against the people trying to practice it? It makes no sense.
And you know what? I want to get in. I want to get in.
Hey, Lex, I want you here when these 2 tethers call in. So, hey, Kwame, if you call in, if you pull up today, bro, I want to finish this first. But if Kwame call in, and if the other dude call in, I want y'all to talk to Lex, man. I can't wait for this one.
You come in. I want to get in real quick. I want to just ask one question. I mean, I only get one question. He was so damn long-winded. I thought Chris Tucker had to ace the room.
Hold on. Thank you.
Right, I just said that. The Asar Egyptian guy was long-winded, so I let him go. And he didn't make any sense, contradicted himself, and uninterrupted. Lex go in and debunk him. So Lex ain't just talking his own information. He's debunking what was said earlier. And he got cut off right away. And he got all these guys on the panel to refute Lex, and it ain't working. He's cooking all of them.
Thank you.
What happened?
I haven't got any questions in. Let me get one.
I'm gonna get this one question. They don't even got to answer. I want them to think about this question right here. Then you go. I want to throw this out there in the wind, and I want to see.
Next thing, Jay.
I want to know. So with this new bill that Trump trying to have passed, where you cannot bring your children just because you're over here illegally, and you go to having children, your children would not be a legal citizen. I wonder, once we put all the immigrants together and they start going back like they're supposed to, Because we over what? How many thousands of them that we've already started sending everywhere, not just in Africa, not just in Mexico. We've been sending them back everywhere, right? So once we clear out all the illegals, and then we don't have to take care of their kids anymore, I wonder if we're going to see how countries really run. I wonder if we're going to see them countries stand on their own leg and be biggity while they're over in their own country instead of coming over here with all their mass manipulated plans. So I wonder what's going to happen if this citizenship thing gets stuck. How many
You're talking about birthright citizenship. You're talking about birthright citizenship, right?
Right. But the illegal immigrants are sent back to their own countries, right? So they should be able to go to their own country and to build the way y'all telling us to build up and we this and we that. So we want to see if they can go to their own country and build the way they were building here. Let's see what happened when that Trump bill passed. Anybody down with that bill to see if we're going to have more money in the air and then we can build and structure the way we're supposed to, because this still is our country.
It'll affect Latins and Chinese.
All right, hold on, y'all. Hold on. King J, you got brother.
None of you, where's the classes at for me to go to Africa and learn how to make money over there? Where's the videos at? Which one of y'all on the stand can refer me to the video?
Ain't no video.
I want to learn how to go to Africa and multiply because I am a queen. Then y'all
say, I do got one video for you.
Hold on. They're everywhere. They're everywhere on YouTube, sister. They're everywhere on YouTube.
Yeah, let me find one on the fly.
You should have something. You say you don't you?
He said that everyone on YouTube. Let me find one.
So I could be one before 2026 hit, because this is a powerful year.
I'm gonna say this after he goes.
Let me find one of those videos.
Right, hold on. I said Mexicans hire themselves. Ain't nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, man. All right? Chinese hire themselves. You don't see nobody in the Chinese restaurant but Chinese people. You don't see nobody there.
I've never seen a brother cooking back there.
Mexican cooking Chinese food.
I mean, in Texas, it'd be Mexicans cooking at Chinese.
Hold on. King J, you got the floor, brother.
Peace to the panel.
Peace.
Quick point. Let
me rent you up while I ask him to turn. Just like
it would be foolish to. Why would we give up what we built here to go elsewhere?
Right. That's stupid.
But I would say this also: if we do that, we become the bourgeois now. We become the ones that go over there and own the buildings, and now they're gonna really hate us. They already don't like us, but we going over there buying up everything.
That's what they're doing.
You better.
They're going over there just like colonizers. Come on. They're going over there building business.
Let him finish, y'all. Let Jay finish.
That's what I said earlier.
So I'm agreeing with the brother when he says that, but at the same time for a different reason. I feel like we would be the,
elite. Can't colonize what was yours.
Yeah, and also the second point, I wrote it down. After some point, we in this country, I think a brother mentioned earlier, we just become a different subclass. It's we are different. Like, we need to hear.
Hey, let me give you an example. So when a couple free blacks had went to Liberia, right, there was the natives there. As soon as the blacks went over there, they're called the Americo-Liberians. They went over there and just took over. Like, they dominated in politics, they dominated resources, everything. As soon as we went over there to Liberia, amongst the natives, we took over, and the natives became like a second-class citizen. Like, that's what's going to happen. So believe me, like, Africa really don't want us to mass migrate over there. That's all that's going to happen. Like, we're like 90 times smarter than, and more, not smarter, but we're 90 times more educated than them on basic stuff.
Stay here. I'm with networking with all nations all over the world, internet age, but leaving what we got here now. So I'm with the brother with that. So I just wanted to add that in.
All right, it's crazy to me. We always say things like, we built this. Our mothers and fathers, we built this. So what? You built it because the white man was whipping your ass. Simple as that. Why you ain't building nothing? Be quiet. Be quiet. Be quiet. Why your asses ain't building nothing now? He took the goddamn chains off you. He took the belt off your.
Okay, yeah. So now this is silly. Now Sanetta, like, he clearly doesn't have a good grasp of FBA history in this country. He doesn't. He damn sure know more than me. Okay, so what he think was a one-time thing? Does he think that white folks just deprived us of resources, goods, civil rights, and education and wealth, and just let us go and say, "Okay, I'm done. You guys do you," and we just flopped? But Ned doesn't understand. I know he doesn't. He does not understand, and not just him. The average person in America does not understand all of the things. I mean, just watch my videos. I got a whole bunch of videos. Like I got short 3-minute videos, and that's just a little bit I just put out there because I was going on vacation. But look at my videos. You'll see all of the ways that white folks consistently sabotaged us when we started to gain some ground. So Netta, what about Black Wall Street? That's 1920, but I could bring you to 1978. What happened to Soul City? So Netta doesn't even know what Soul City is. Urban renewal. See, when we talk about this, they get lost and they start talking over us and muting us. It's like, dude, if you're going to blame us for something, you got to be qualified or be ready to be learned. Like I will cook him, Myron Gaines, Larry Elder, Thomas Sowell, all these folks that want to blame us for why we ain't really thriving. It's silly. It's silly. I will put it back to him and say, hey, the closest blacks to experience what we experienced were those folks in South Africa. All right. Well, apartheid was only 40-something years. Our apartheid was 200 years. Well, they didn't even go through what we went through, but they went through a lot. How come they're not leveling up over the whites over there on average? The South Africans are the most poorest people over there. They're the black ones. They're poorer than the white ones, and they're poorer than the mixed colored ones. How do I know this? Because I researched these issues, man. I wanted to see who had experienced what we experienced and thrived. And the answer is nobody. And Brazil's like third, and they trash over there. You dig? So all of us are on the bottom because all of us are still living with our former oppressors who's keeping their foots on our neck through policies and laws and redlining and education discrimination and so on and so forth. So to act like we're even Steven now and we just could thrive today, that's a lie. Because listen, racism went on so long. Listen, folks, listen to me. This is deep. Racism went on so long. It was so socially acceptable. Discrimination was so socially acceptable. Segregation based on race was so socially acceptable that the average person, without even trying to be racist, just see it as this is where we belong. So when they deny us a bank loan, I don't believe everyone's intentionally doing it. It's grained in them because it was the social norm. So yeah, I feel like, but I even think it subconsciously. I think I should deny you this loan that you're due simply because you're dark skinned. And dark skinned people should be denied loans. and that's how normal it has become. That's how normal it was. So just don't go away. You don't just say, hey, 1968 FHA, okay, it's passed. So the Fair Housing Act. So hey, everybody's no longer racist. No, that's not what happens. People are still racist. They're still in government, and they were still denying us things that we were rightfully due. So again, they could have that conversation on these panels with Joe and Frank, but they can never have that conversation with me without muting me and kicking me off because they know they're going to find out immediately they're nowhere near on my level when it comes to Black history in this country. Nowhere near. But I found the African video that those guys said that existed. Here you go. Here's the African video. All right. A little technical difficulty. Hold on.
How to perfect your American accent really fast, part 2. In today's video, I'm actually going to show you how you can become a master of perfecting your American accent, where you can actually sound like a Native American. In this video, we're going to...
Wait, hold on. I don't know exactly. Always trying to sabotage it. I got hella videos how they constantly try to sabotage this. But Brandon 86, he says so Black women is helping this government. People not talking about that. Brandon, can you elaborate how they helping the government? And let me look. I want to get the phone number. I want to finish this Lex cookout, right? And this Queen cookout, right? Lex cookout featuring Queen. But I would love for Brandon to share with me and us how is Black women helping the government. All right. So like that was very vague. He really ain't say much with that. So let me put the phone number. This is just for Brandon. Okay, this is just for Brandon because he's stopping the show. Well, he ain't stopping the show. I'm stopping the show because I want more clarity on how Black women are helping the government. So Brandon, if you don't mind, that's the phone number. This is the meeting ID. This is just for Brandon. Hey, Brandon, can you just help us understand how Black women is helping the government? That would be great. What do I do with that phone number? Right? Yeah, I keep losing it. Oh, shit. Yeah, why is it chat? How do I pause this? Okay. There we go. So, Brandon, I would love for you to call in and explain to me how Black women are helping the government. Okay? That shouldn't be a problem, right? You said it. You must got the proof. All right. Now let's go back to your boy.
To master the TH, the T, and the L sounds in the American.
Yeah, so it looks like, hey, Brandon, it looks like your problem isn't Black women because every Black woman is not a baby mother. But it looks like you got a problem with government policies. And this is why you guys should get into voting, like voting for certain candidates. If you believe that's wrong and it's unfair, I'm not gonna give an opinion. I'm just saying if that's how you feel, then you need to put your vote behind a candidate that feels the same way. That's all. But yeah, so I'm not gonna give an opinion on that. But yeah, because I'm sure there are some employers that abuse the system, right? They racially discriminate for employment, and some don't. Some white employers do, some don't. I'm sure there's some Black women that might abuse child support. Okay, and I know some don't. I know. By the way, Brandon, let me help you out, brother. I used to work in housing, low income housing. So the Black women you're talking about, I know their business. And I'm gonna tell you, bro, call in. You're gonna learn something. You said they abuse the government because child support. Okay, now you shouldn't be talking what you don't know. So when you work in housing and deal with low income people in a Black area, that means you know everybody business. You know how much money they make, you know where they work and where they don't work, and you know about their child support status. Okay, we had over 300 tenants, and every tenant had to come see me. And most of the tenants were, of course, single women. All right. So call in and explain how these women, you said Black, right? They're Black. So explain how they were using the system. And brother, in a loving way, if you're FBA, I got to cook you. Right. But you guys you guys had this opinion, this untested opinion, and you throw it out there like it's true. And then when somebody educated like myself say, call in, let's talk about it, you guys don't call in. It's like, dude, I thought what you were saying was factual. If it's a fact, how can it be debunked? How can it be disputed? So call in, get educated on how a lot of Black women do not abuse child support, and we could just move on from there. Matter of fact, here, take some tips from your boy. He has a consultation fee. Here you go. You can learn how to be Black.
Accent. Let's jump right in. If you're new to this channel, I want you to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button so that every time I post a new video, you will not miss it. Let's start off with the TH sound. Now there are two TH sounds in English. We have the voiced and the voiceless.
All right, so this is the African video that you guys were talking about. All right, this is what they're doing when they come over here. They're giving him the money for consultation to teach him how to be an FBA.
The vibration. You can hear your vocal cords vibrating at the back of your throat.
Yeah, he's dead serious. Like he offers classes. I'm gonna get this fly. This thing is pissing me off. Oh, my bad. It's on mute.
In hood, it would be pronounced.
Now he keeps saying hood. Why not just say Black culture? Why not just say Black American culture at the very least? Why you keep saying hood? Bro, just say Black. That's Black American culture. It's not hood. Hood is not Black American culture. Hood is something that white man put together and gave it to us. The hood ain't something that we inherited. because we passed it down. The white man, like Lex said, sabotaged us, undermined us, defunded us, urban renewal, all type of things, blocked us out, redliners, don't give us loans. And by doing all of that, they, in zoning laws, you dig, restrictive covenants, by doing all of that, they created the hood. That ain't something that we created. We created Black Wall Street. The white man created the hood and said, nah, this is better for you, and sabotage all our efforts. And we end up in the hood. So what you're saying, that ain't hood. Like, well, if you're saying hood, that ain't black. Because nowadays people associate with hood with black. No, what you're saying, that's black culture. It's okay. I know. See, they don't think we got culture. That's why he says hood. He won't say Black American culture at the very least.
Ain't no more excuses. Now, in hood, it would be pronounced as bread. It's bread. The next one is the word totally. Totally. Now, the way it would be used in a sentence.
So I want to give y'all guys a commercial break. All right, let's get back to the show.
Ass, and now you stagnant. You ain't built.
Wait,
You know no. You know what you building now? You building religion. You building God. You building power. While the white man is capitalizing. Oh, I need y'all to be quiet.
Let me fast forward some of this because Sarnez is wilding.
Because I'm trying. Because he was else, man. Go ahead.
I don't know why he dropped the bomb. I mean, that's a bullshit bomb, man. That's a fart bomb.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. To destroy. And even today,
that Tariq Nasheed indoctrination.
Bro.
Tariq Nasheed battle.
Bro, what's going on?
Yeah,
for this
Queen B be going in.
Hold on, he said we ain't built nothing.
Classes.
And we only built because the white man had a belt to our
exactly. FBA Codex TV1.
So how do you
building highways throughout urban communities? I thrive in urban communities.
Bro, goddamn, bro, hold on.
Sabotage them. Undermine them.
We built communities. We built banks. We built businesses.
Right. Hold on. Let me pause back for 1 second. He's in the chat. His name is the Holy FBA Codex TV1. So the person talking right now, defending us, defending himself, defending the lineage, he's in the chat. His name is his name is the Holy FBA Codex TV1. So now let's go on banks. So the banks that we built, white supremacy blocked them where they were just savings banks, right? They were not allowed to be investment banks. They were not allowed to get funding from the city government, state, federal, that other banks were privy to. Okay, so all of our banks for the most part were savings, okay? And most of them crashed through after the Great Depression, except for Maggie Lena Walker. She was like the first Black woman president in the country. Her bank survived because she merged with another Black business. But now, check this out. All the stuff that Lex is talking about, they survived through the Great Depression with no help. We never had help. White people always had help going back to the 1862. 1862, the land. Damn, I'm losing my memory. But the land. Y'all help me out. Y'all heard me say it 1,000 times. The land that they got, the 270 million acres of land that they got. All right, that all they had to do was come here and till the land for 5 years, and that was their land. So they always had help. They always had welfare. And then after the Great Depression, they had the 1933 HOLC, 1934 FHA, 1935 they had the New Deal, and then 1944 they had the GI Bill. So they always kept getting help. So they couldn't fail. We had no help ever. So the American government kept saving white people from failing with just free money, free low interest rates on mortgages. Like sometimes they got a mortgage from the government had guaranteed the loan, from the bank. So when the bank loaned it to a white person, it was insured, guaranteed insured by the government. So the bank like, oh hell, shit, I don't care what your credit score is here. The government is going to guarantee back it. You dig? So that's the type of advantage they had over us that nobody wants to talk about, but you will get over here. I study all of that stuff.
They bombed it. They tore it down. Dude, y'all know after Black Wall Street. Hold on. After Black Wall Street was bombed.
Okay.
How do you think
I remember now. Thanks for saying land grant. It was the 1862 Homestead Act. All right.
Greenwood popped up. Those are the same people from Black Wall Street who rebuilt Greenwood.
We know
Hold on, you had, and they only talk about Black Wall Street. They was all throughout the country. They ran highways through our communities on purpose to shut down those communities. And even today, we run the entertainment businesses.
Hold
up, bro. We are in the
don't own exactly. Build it again, because we those people that you said that fight, bro. We those people that you say fight.
And so that right there shows you the disrespect for our lineage from these people who have other lineages, bro. Period. For one to talk like that, like we ain't building nothing because the white man ain't made us. That's crazy, bro.
So what you want to say?
But you said we were.
Yeah. So look at this tether. So build it again. Like that's a tether talking point. Okay. So Lex was talking about what we built, but tether, what? So Lex went over the many things we built. Somebody said, so build it again. What have y'all ever built? Y'all built toxicity. Y'all countries are filled with toxicity, crime, degeneracy. That's what y'all built. Y'all built savagery. Like, you can never compare y'all to us.
Because the white man ain't made us. That's crazy, bro.
So what you want to say?
But you said we were the ones that fought.
Can I respond to that?
We were the ones that we were different from the African. Yeah, you said we were different from African. You said that. Go ahead,
Dr. David. Go ahead, man.
I ain't seen one African that.
Go ahead.
All right, Brother Lex, can I ask you? Am I part of you and your FBA?
You're not from my lineage, sir.
How do you know that?
Well, I don't. First, you said I heard you. I don't. You're right. I could be wrong, but from what I heard, you said you was from Britain, and you had some other lineages. So that means our lineage here was developed over time. You know what I'm saying? So we got African, we have indigenous,
Italian, we got all type of European nations.
But our lineage is pretty consistent. Now, where are you from?
Okay, hold on a minute.
Hold on. Where are you from, bro?
Hey, yo, why do these guys hide their nationality? Yo, they be so embarrassed to say they're not Black American. Like their roots. They be so embarrassed to say their roots are not Black American. They do this with me. They do it with Lex, with Tariq, Yvette. Just name it. Any show they come on as FBA Center, they be ashamed to tell us where their roots, their lineage is from. This dude said, hold on.
Right.
I was born in Bermuda.
All right.
He's from a different lineage, bro. Don't recognize your lineage.
Okay, hold on a minute, though. Hold on, I have a point.
Let him finish.
I'm trying to make a point.
Let him finish.
Brother Lex, do you know that I could show you through my own genealogy, through the census records that happened after the war, how many people from what was called the British West Indies at that time, which now is called St. Kitts, Barbados, Bermuda, so on and so on, came to America after the participation for World War I and World War II?
Okay.
Are they part of the foundational Black American movement?
Okay, so he really said nothing because World War II, again, I know a lot about this stuff. World War II, I know a lot of West Indians went to Britain to help British restore, because they lost a lot of troops, lost a lot of people building up the city. So they had a lot of, there's a boat, the ship, I forgot what the ship was called, but I got videos on it. But they came to Great Britain to help build up Great Britain. I don't recall them coming over here. You dig? And they were not in massive numbers, because we know when they got here in numbers. So the only time I can recall Jamaicans coming over here, and he didn't say Jamaicans, well, not even over here, to be extracted by our government was to go to build the Panama Canal. So when he says World War I, World War II, dude, you can't just stop there. You got to continue. Like, what happened? What happened? And why did they come over? They could have just fled here like everybody else. Ellis Island.
No.
But they had children. They are the ancestors of the people that now see themselves as Black American.
Okay, you can be Black American. You're not foundational, and that's what the confusion that they keep fighting with. Yeah, get them, Lex.
Well, Lex don't know his own lineage. He don't know about the book
our
of
lineage
Negroes
goes back to the.
who Marcus Garvey and that movement.
Our lineage goes back to the deep South, brother. And our
yes, I know that.
So what I'm saying is, we don't have the same lineage or the same political and economic, aspirations. It's nothing.
Lex, listen.
But you
listen
are not
to me carefully.
A foundational Black American.
I know I am not. But what I'm asking you is, could it be a possibility that myself and yourself, for example, share a common ancestor that was not too long ago, meaning within the past 200 years?
That is quite possible. But everybody on Earth.
So why is your rhetoric seeking to separate one of the most powerful link-ups to help assist with your movement? I don't get it.
Okay, so you don't get it. So before Lex go. So now remember, he said, why are you trying to separate? Lex just cooked Sonetta on his talking point. Sonetta said, we're the only dumb group who keep accepting everybody. So that means we're not separating, we're joining people, but then we're called dumb for doing that. Sonetta called us dumb for joining everybody else. So then Lex said, hey, you just cooked yourself. So when we talk about delineating and separating, you say we're wrong. And I said, you see, they get us both ways. So now he just came back and contradicts Sonetta and said, no, you guys are separating, you're wrong. You guys need to join hands with everybody else. So it's like, yo, what are we doing? We know what we're doing. We're delineating. You want to call it separating? I don't know what that means. Delineating just means you are who you are. We are who we are. We still could do business, but this is who we are, and you are who you are. We're separate in identity, ethnicity. Let's talk. Let's build. We can build from there, but we want to draw the line. You're over there. I'm over here. Now let's play tennis. Let's work something out.
No, it's not.
I don't get it either, bro.
It's not a separation. In order to separate something, they have to be together first.
Exactly.
But Lex, I can take you right to one of the most recent powerful lectures, and I pulled it out because I knew this moment was going to come. On Sonetta's channel, he had brother Anuka Karak talking about, did integration turn the Black American nation into a welfare state? And in that one video, there's many that I can bring up.
Okay, you hear this? He said, listen, I'm sorry, Chet. These guys, as you've seen, when it comes to this country, these guys are so below me, okay? A welfare state, I just said white America has always been in the welfare state. We just said the Homestead Act 1862, that's called welfare. When I was debating that Black conservative, I said, hold on, welfare? Ain't nobody get more welfare than white people. The HOLC, the FHA, the new deal, the GI Bill, that's all welfare. And then welfare, and then ADC. You dig? Then FADC. No, AFDC. And even now, all the bailouts and everything. What you mean a welfare state? Yo, we never had a welfare state. We never got welfare. And when we did get it, it was restrictions and it was different rules and no daddy in the house, the man in the house act. Yo, listen, family, these guys are so below me. And that's why I need them to come over here one by one. I'm a RIP, every last one of them.
He talks specifically about the contribution of not just Africans, but Caribbeans as well, to this same movement, which you are calling foundational Black Americans.
Yeah, thank you, Pinky. TANF was added after the ADC and the AFDC, then came TANF. So TANF was there when we finally were eligible for welfare. Guess what? We were eligible the same time as immigrants, because 1964, as Lex eloquently stated, after that, 1965. Right? So immigrants were able to come over here, but at that point, it wasn't too many Black ones, but there was a lot of white ones, and I'm sure some Hispanic ones, some Latinos. So they were in line with us in welfare. You dig? Everybody, the money ain't long like that. Some people got turned away. And guess what? Some people got discriminated against because Ronald Reagan did the whole welfare clean. Right? So now Black folk, Black women in line for welfare, they're being denied for the most simplest stuff. They're being strict for us. But I'm sure white people got welfare with less restrictions. So even then, we didn't get welfare. So it was never a welfare state. We were always never getting welfare. You did, and that's why I say I did uh low income housing. Those women didn't have welfare, and they're in low income housing. How's it possible to not be on welfare and get low income housing? Of course, it's possible, but he wouldn't know that. He would think you need welfare to get on that. Those women did not have TANF. Like I said, we got to know all of. Ask anybody who's in housing, and you're dealing with low income housing. We got to know all of their financial business. They can't hide one thing or they're done. They got to be full transparent with us. And guess what? I asked them. I said, why nobody on welfare? And this is in South Carolina. And they said, hey man, like over here, it's like that. Like when women don't, I guess it's like setbacks or something like that happens. One lady explained it, but I didn't really get it. But there's setbacks, and like a lot of them ain't trying to do that, and a lot of them didn't have their baby fathers on child support either. But that's why I wanted Brandon to call in so I could cook them.
It's not just one blanket group of people that participated in this, but what you're doing and the way that you're presenting it, you're literally going to create more of a divide and conquer rather than actually creating a very powerful movement.
Yeah, they all do that. All of them delineated. The Trinidadians delineated from the Jamaicans. Jamaicans delineated from the Bahamians. The Bahamians delineated from the Haitians, and so on and so forth. But now we like, you know what? Yeah, let's join this delineation movement. And we hold our flag up. They're like, no, they're crying foul. Like, yo, when you delineated, it wasn't seen as division and separation. Why is it seen like that? Why is it seen like that with us? And if you can find these guys, please invite them over here, please.
That others around the world, like my last point, and I'll move from that.
Hold up,
when
brother,
you create this, one second. When you create the more lasting, sustainable aspect of foundational Black Americans, I know it's in this developmental state. Who will you seek to partner with once you are a developed political entity?
Whoever is beneficial, you know what I'm saying?
Who will you partner with?
Whoever is beneficial for. If we decide to partner with someone, it's whoever. If it's a mutual relationship with mutual benefit, like anyone else. But let me ask you,
would
brother,
that be?
But you said that many people contributed here. Black people contributed. Like when apartheid was going on, we was the biggest voices for apartheid. Did that make us South Americans?
Right.
I mean,
no, you're trying to manipulate and take us somewhere else. Listen, no.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
This is what he does.
You said that other people contributed here. I don't deny that.
Watch this. Okay.
No, they were part. Not contributed. They were part. They were part of what you're calling foundational Black Americans.
Correct.
Oh my
God. They might have been a contributor.
Now, doctor, watch when I ask him this. So you don't want to go to Africa because you can't get any money, but here is Europe, who has a more powerful dollar than you, and he said you won't link up with him, and your response is no.
Link up with him.
Your response is no to the one who has the more powerful dollar.
That's not what was taught. That's not the conversation.
That is the conversation. That's what
it is.
Yeah. These guys are they'll just do anything to switch the argument from what they were talking about. It's like, yo, what are we talking about now? We're talking about Europe, the euro. Like, yo, come on.
It is.
Just said,
y'all not understanding.
That's why you're not talking. I wonder why, like, you are quiet. Oh, he's muting you. Hey, yo, that's crazy, yo. He got all these folks coming against you, and they never get muted. You're defending yourself. People lying on you. They're saying you said no. You never said no. He gave an idea that was like, wasn't even what y'all were talking about. But you never said no to the euro dollar or whatever. But why do we got to link up with anybody? Why we just can't do our business in America and just thrive like everybody else? Why we got to go international? Like, you could if you want, but he's muting you. Yeah, that's crazy, yo.
me as the same.
Peace.
He said no.
This
and
is
after
6
he
days
said
ago.
no,
Not the
he was
same.
like, you're not us. So
Like
now
last
he's
Monday.
playing Kendrick Lamar in his trunk.
Point.
Bro,
And if you're playing Kendrick Lamar with the most powerful economic blacks in the world, how silly do you look?
I never said, see, you're gaslighting again.
Right there.
I never said that I wouldn't link
Turn
up.
the light on then.
Hold up. I never said I wouldn't link up with him. He asked me, were we the same? No, that isn't. Why does y'all have a problem with
who
us?
are your partners?
Bro, wait.
Why y'all got a problem with us wanting to maintain what we built in America?
Right.
He don't have anything. He just said it.
Nobody have a problem with that.
Hold up.
They all have a problem with it because when we embrace our unique, distinctive ethnic identity, they all say it's causing division, divide and conquer, and separation. That's called having a problem with it. But they could hold their Jamaican flags, their Trinidadian flags, they could hold all these Nigerian flags, Ghanaian flags. But when we hold our American flag, they tell us we're not American. It's like, what? So, but you're Jamaican though? Like you went through an ethnogenesis in your country like we went through in ours.
No one has a problem with that.
Hey, bro,
He said, build your
Why
empire
aren't you
with
over there
Hey,
doing
B1
that?
Capricorn
Hold on,
FBA.
before y'all move on, slow down a second, bro. Are Jamaicans the same as Haitians?
You said
Are
you have nothing.
Jamaicans? Let me ask the brother that was talking to me. Are Jamaicans the same as Haitians, brother?
No.
I'm talking to the brother
Yes,
that was
okay. Yes, in some ways,
no?
because two sons.
Okay, hey, Lex, I asked the same question and they all lie. They'll say yes. It's like, yeah. So why he not Haitian then? yeah, Lex, they will all lie and say yes.
Now you listen. One second. Yes, in some ways, because the spiritual leader of the Haitian Revolution was a Jamaican. But no, in general.
Tell a Jamaican that, then. Tell a Jamaican that.
Bro, Jamaicans and Haitians are not the same.
Family, just got like the video.
Y'all want to tether because what y'all should be celebrating the fact that foundational Black Americans are loving themselves. Why does it offend y'all that we just say we're different? We got our own thing. We got our own style. Why can everyone else? It's because y'all want to tether off of
Nobody said it was a problem. It's your division with the Africans is the problem. That's what it is.
It's not a division.
Trinidadians and Jamaicans throw shots at each other.
Why should we be the only one
Bahamians
putting
throw
everything
shots
together?
at Haitians.
We're not.
You're not. You're not.
So everybody else.
Why am I the only one being muted?
Everybody over there.
Nah.
Like not every Jamaican, but
believe me,
that's a
you're
normal
not
thing.
the only one. I'm muting everybody who's keep talking over everybody. So you're not the only one, brother. Everybody. But listen, we in the closing part. I'm gonna go around, give everybody a minute to close out. King J, you got a minute to close out, brother.
Peace. Yeah, I definitely came in late, but I definitely enjoyed the build. I'm not too familiar with the brother, the FBO brother, but
hey Lex, I'm gonna try to set it up. We can talk to this type of Kwame.
Staying here in this country and building, what we do have here in this country. I would say, like, basically, like, if you ain't on shit here, you ain't gonna be on nothing in Africa either. You know what I'm saying? So, but I do agree with some of his points, and that's about it.
All right, y'all can see yourself out when y'all get it. All right, let's go. Let's get Baba. Baba in here. Baba in the building. Elder with the wisdom. Let's go.
Okay, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna ask one question. How many of you are on the panel familiar with the 1871 Constitution that was put in order?
Okay, so the 1871 Constitution he's talking about, it's a lie. Like he's 79 years old. He's this Moorish guy. What he's about to say right now is a complete lie. Okay, there is no second constitution. This I already debunked him the last time he was on the channel with Lex and Queen. That no, I don't think Lex was there. I was there, Queen was there. He came on and it wasn't Sonetta, it was somebody, it was JJ, one of his panels. And they ended up muting us all and let this guy just rant for like 1,000 hours. He's just lying. So he liked to spread this lie of there's a second constitution, 1871. And then he's going to go to say your social security card if you cash it in at the bank, you'll get like 3 golds a bar worth like 30,000 each. He'll tell you if you die, you know, America, the charter of Great Britain, and if you die, Great Britain cashes out on your death. Like he got this whole sovereign citizen spill just rehearsed. But everything he's about to say is pure garbage.
1871 United States Constitution.
Oh.
We're not saying because we're arguing about
Still
what
doing
we
it,
are.
Bob, because we're not supposed to come on.
All right. So here's my IG handle. Wait, damn. There we go. Unbiased Sports 07. I'm trying to think how can people contact me in a real way, in real time. So yeah, just send a friend request. You guys kind of let me know that you're sending me a friend request. I get a lot of trolls sending friend requests, and I always, you know, dismiss their friend requests. That's it right there. That's like a real way to contact me. Or you can do my email. My email is it's all one word, all spelled correctly. It's blackthinktank@yahoo.com. So in a real way, you can do Unbiased Sports 07, or right here. On a real way, you could do blackthinktank@yahoo.com. I ain't checked my messages all week, so if you sent me something, I'll read it today. But that's the email and that's the IG where I can be contacted in a real way. All right, so now let them close out with this 1871 garbage. But like anybody shouldn't just be able to come on the panel and just say any old thing and throw people off topic. This 1871 BS is straight garbage.
Yo, he's closing out, y'all. Nobody should be talking.
The so-called United States is a corporation, it's not a country. It's a corporation, and you're arguing over a corporation and not a country. There is no America anymore. They lost it in 1871. All the banking cartel took it over. America owns China, everybody money. They in deep debt, and we're arguing over a house that's been bought by somebody else and moved in. China owns 14 of our major imports and things to do anything with, and we're arguing over that. We talk, and we need an exodus, but where you gonna go? Where you gonna go? Remember, 1871 United States Constitution. Look it up. The banking cartel bought it. They own it. And they control it. And the Federalist movement control all the land. America's, you know, the book say, a borrower is a slave to the lender. The whole country is a slave because they done borrowed money from everybody on the planet. My next question is, how many of the group has a seat at the UN to discuss world establishment as a nation? And I'll leave it at that.
All right. Thank you, brother. All right. Dr. David is on you, brother.
Yeah, the 1871 mumble jumble is so pseudo.
All right, just to close, thank you very much, Brother Sonata. I want to say this, that Lex spoke earlier and he mentioned a word, mumbo jumbo. Now, this shows the mindset, and this isn't a shot at you, Lex. This is more of just within our discourse and our debate. This shows the mindset of what's been done to us as a people. Go and look up and research search the origin of the word mumbo jumbo as a negative derogatory term, and you'll see what they've done to us. You have
my fault. I muted myself. I just want to say real quickly that they always trying to scare us straight. So we've been hearing the American dollar is going to fall, so we got to buy gold and silver. We've been hearing if we don't vote for this candidate, this liberal candidate, the Republicans get into office and it'll be World War III. Like we all this, and now America is a charter of Great Britain, and we need to leave America and go to one of these third world countries and just live it up. You know, it's just scare tactics, man.
Had Marcus Garvey, Pan-Africanism. You had Kwame Nkrumah.
Did he just say Marcus Garvey? Who is this guy? Dr. David Roots. Can I find this dude? Because I would love to invite him to a sit down. All right. Hold on. Let me invite this guy. Let me. I bet you he ain't a doctor either. Dr. David. I bet you he sell all type of. I'll try to find him. Because I would love to talk to him about Marcus Garvey. All right, so nothing came up. I typed in Dr. David. I don't know. What's I type? Pan-African? I give up. I give up.
Pan-Africanism. You had support for Ethiopia. You had the 60s and 70s, the dashikis. But something happened in the 80s. In the 80s, they started giving us those cartoons. You remember Bugs Bunny, and you would see the Africans with the bones in their noses, and they'll have people in pots. And they started to turn all of that consciousness and all of that togetherness. They started to make Black people around in America turn against each other. And so
wait, how the hell did wait a minute, how did the cartoon Bugs Bunny make Black people turn? If anything, it made other folks turn on Black people, like non-Blacks. How did Bugs Bunny make Black people turn on Black people? The hell?
this is what we need to make sure that you're not going to do,
yeah,
Brother Lex, with
the
FBA. We need for that to be
Marcus
a
Garvey,
source of unity.
Y'all got to stop with him.
And a model for what other people in the Caribbean, for example, are fighting against colonialism. You talked about our Haitians and Jamaicans and Trinidadians. Are we different? Are we the same? We're different, yes, because of colonialism. And that's what FBA sounds like to me. Just another form of neo-colonialism come to divide and conquer.
You see? I mean, he couldn't say any better. That is why we can't come together with these folks. Like, they see our strong stance as a threat to their survival. Did y'all hear me? They see our strong stance as a threat to their livelihood and survival. They see us as an enemy. You just heard them. It's the FBA's fault.
Thank you, brother. All right. Let me go to Queen. Queen at 6'2".
Yeah, he's bugging.
You 6'2"?
I'm 6'2".
Damn, you tall. All right.
That's fire. That's fire.
Queen, I hope you come back again once again. Thank you. This is my first time seeing you over here. You're welcome. You're welcome back. You bring that fire. You bring that information. So hopefully we can see you again. All right.
Please come back, Queen.
I definitely look forward to coming back because listen, they're not gonna bully me out of this 6'2" seat. They are not gonna bully me. Listen, they can say what the hell they want to say because they done bumped.
Are you a former basketball player?
Yes, I used to play basketball.
Oh wow, look at that.
I'm an only girl. I got all brothers. I'm raised by my dad and no women.
Okay.
Yeah. So listen. All I want to say is this. I mean, we could throw all the innuendos that we want to throw about the United States saying this, and you got to go over to Africa for that. I mean, we can do all those things if we want to, but I can only tell you this. It seems like whenever there's a fire, we the one started it. When it get put out, we the one put it out. So if the United States is not that much, I want to know why is it that other countries are raising hell, but we're the one that put the water on them. We're the one that put the fire out. We're the one that make sure that we get their ass back line. We're the one that Ukraine. What happened with Ukraine? I mean, wasn't there just a recent war from the United States that don't exist? Something just happened, and I feel like if we can get some of the immigrants back to where they belong at, maybe we can see a better growth. Maybe we can see that there are not just white voices, but black voices as well. So going to other countries to do what? Yes, I would like to go to another country, especially if I could go over there and take over, but say it in that manner. Don't say it in the manner of, oh, you just go to another country, then here you make it. Just like y'all say you go to Hollywood and you make it. You struggle everywhere you go if you don't put your best foot forward. And if we send some of the immigrants back and stop taking care of so many of them, taking our money away, maybe they'll go to their country and learn how to build over there instead of sucking up and leeching. Now, yes, I would love to go to Africa, but I still am from America. We all got a line that come from somebody else in a whole nother country. I'm pretty sure if I go back 1,000,000 years, I got about 3, 4 aunties over in Jamaica. They don't know me. Okay, so what's the big deal? Either you're in the United States or you're not. And I just find it so surreal that every time we get someone that's a foreigner, why do they get so concerned about what Black Americans do?
Right.
If y'all can come and take over and do what you're doing, stop trying to preach and teach us stuff, and you're still coming over here and you're learning from us. Thanks for welcoming me. I appreciate that.
Wow.
Thank you, Queen. Thank you, Queen.
That's my baby.
Thank you.
Peace. Peace.
Another
assault. Hold on, Saw.
Next, brother.
Yeah, why all these Afrocentric names? Their name is Asar. Like, God damn.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hold on, I can't.
We ain't got no.
Yeah, okay.
We can hear you, Asar. Let's go.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure everything was working right. Yeah, I just want to say that, Lex, I don't completely disagree with you as far as who we are, what we went through as foundational Black Americans. I think that foundational Black Americans should build and expand ourselves. But I don't think that we should disconnect ourselves from our African brothers. Because myself, I have 2% Indian DNA, 11% European DNA, and the rest is African. So I would look towards.
No, the rest is from different countries in Africa. Okay? So you're probably West Africa, a bunch of countries there, Mali, and some Central. No, yeah, so you're not one thing. Like, there's no one African. There's not one African. Everybody is grouped off with an ethnic name. And guess what? You're none of those ethnic names in Africa. Like, that's the slick way to tie into Africa. That doesn't work. You're not Igbo, you're not Fulani, you're not Ogani, you're not Ghanaian, you're not Hutu, Tutsi. You're nothing in Africa, my boy. Okay, if what you're saying is true, you're just a foundational Black American who cannot find his ties to Africa by a group.
My African lineage, more so than my 2% of Indian or my forced pregnancy European bloodline. I just there's no.
Yeah, but most likely you're 34% Nigerian, 20% this. So you're a small minority of everything in Africa. Dude, you're not a minority of nothing. And that's what makes us so beautiful over here. Like, we're not one thing. We're a bunch of things in one. That's what makes us foundational Black American.
Choice in me in that. And there's a lot of foundational Black Americans who are in that same boat. So we may be different from a 100% pure African, right? I'm not 100% pure African, but that's the closest majority percentage in my DNA. And those are my people, and they embrace me. I look like them, right? So I'm not going to turn my back on them, but at the same time, I'm not going to turn my back on the ills that come from Africa and from America, because we have to fix this relationship that has been broken by others, right? We can't abandon them. Things ain't perfect now. We can't help each other now because we have to heal first. And healing is the key. And we can't heal if there's rhetoric from both sides, right, continually bashing each other, right? There has to be some type of common ground that we have to bridge so we can start coming together. Because those interviews that Todd did with those African brothers, they were all smile. They were positive, and you can see that they do want to work with us. But you have other factors that are interrupting with that thought pattern as a whole in Africa and in the African community, African American community. So I think it's best for us as African Americans to true indeed concentrate on deal with ourselves first, but not alienate our African brothers and sisters.
Exactly.
We can do both. Right? So I'll land my plane with that. I'll say peace to everybody on the panel in the chat. Y'all my brothers and sisters. I love you to the death, and I'll go to war with you any day. Peace.
All right. Peace, brother. Say cool. How much did you hear? Say cool. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, say cool is like probably one of the dumbest tethers I ever heard speak, man. Big old B, man.
Yeah, I unmute myself. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I hear you. How much did you hear?
Well, I didn't hear that much. Honestly, I was kind of cooking in the kitchen.
Well, you got Lex Vortex, who is against Africa, and
wow.
Against
I'll
Africa?
let Lex say it. Lex, you can explain yourself. Go ahead. Say what you.
The gaslighting must stop. How is us acknowledging our lineage and our uniqueness divisive? That's what's amazing. This is how we know y'all are tethers. The fact that we just say we're foundational Black Americans, we have our own culture, we have our own struggle, we have our own lineage, just like any Jamaican, Trinidadian, Nigerian, Ghanaian, Yoruban, or whatever, it's deemed divisive. When anyone else does it, it's not divisive. So it shows us that there's something going on. Y'all want everyone to have on a name brand t-shirt. This dude got on polo, and ours is just white with no label on it. You know why you want that? So you can mix the labels when it's convenient. You can throw on that white t-shirt with no generic name on it when it's convenient. It's all gaslighting. All we're doing is saying, okay, for a long time, we were worshiping everyone else, and we were the most welcoming people. We said, if you're not, we even made Indians black. We had Jabari up here fighting for Kamala Harris, a goddamn Indian, without our interests at hand. And so what we're talking about is not no ancient Egyptian nonsense, not going back. We're talking about the social, political reality today. These groups have different aspirations. Jamaicans have different aspirations from Haitians. And Trinidadians and Jamaicans don't even like Haitians. I grew up around them, bro. Nobody in the Caribbean won't even allow hate. Why did Africa deny Haitian into the African Union? See, y'all can talk that talk, but the living political reality is foundational Black Americans have always been on our own. The brother said, he said, oh, they broke this bond we had. What bond? The last bond we had is when these people sold us. That's it. When did the bond, the unification, this big Black global unification happen? It never happened. They want to tether off of us. And the fact that we're saying no more, it makes everyone upset. If y'all truly was about this Pan-African Blackness, you'd be celebrating and clapping. You wouldn't try to steal our culture. You wouldn't try to stop us from being unique. Why are you doing that? If you love us, if we people, why does our flag offend you? You know why? Because we don't need you. You need us. That's the reality. And until y'all getting some punishment right now. That's what we're doing. We're letting you know you betrayed us for 100 years. You sold us into slavery, and then you tethered off of us for 100 years. And now that we're saying no more, oh, we're the ones divisive. That's
Who sold you into slavery?
That is the ultimate. That is the ultimate. That is the ultimate.
Who's into slavery, Lex? Oh,
that is the ultimate
Lex,
gaslighting. And we're not going for it. And let me land my plane here. I'm gonna land my plane.
Who sold you into slavery, Lex? Who?
Africans.
Who? Which one? Who you talking about?
The Yoruba, the Dahomey, the Fulani.
Nah, brother. You wrong, brother.
No, I'm not, bro.
I already broke that down. But anyway, hold on. Stay cool. So now you hear his argument. So now you hear his argument. What do you think about what you're hearing, brother?
Yeah, thank you very much, Annette, and peace and blessing to members of this panel. Again, I will begin by saying this man was just yelling and he said nothing. You know, it just talking too fast and yelling without making any sense. So he started first of all by saying that the FBA is.
I know from that hairline you're not from my lineage.
Come on, brother. Come on.
When you were talking.
Right, he didn't talk at all.
So you have to respect me.
No, sir, you actually cut me off, sir.
Lex, you're bald-headed.
I didn't cut you off. I've never spoken.
Sir cut me off. Sir cut me off.
Your barber cut you off. You ain't got no hair. You talking about his hairline. Let him go.
Y'all stop. Come on, man. Stop, y'all.
Let me just land my plane on the
land your plane. Go ahead, Lex. Land your plane.
Yeah, before the tether comes in with the hairline, what I want to say is there's never been a unity with Black Americans and Africans in the way y'all are talking about. It's always been a one-sided relationship. It's always been they coming over here talking trash, calling us names, calling us the Carter, even the Caribbeans. Oh, we're lazy. We're this, and this, and that. So if we were all of that, then why when we step away, y'all got a problem? It's because you know your attachment to Blackness in this world is everything in terms of your relationship with America and the way you view the world. Black Americans, y'all don't have no icons like us. You don't have no fight like. I'm not trying to diss you. Y'all have your own story, but you not like us. There's no Muhammad Ali's in Africa, no Michael Jacksons, no Malcolm X's, no Dr. Martin Luther Kings, no Denmark Vessies, no Gabriel Prosses, no Coretta Scott Kings, no, I can go down the list, no Smokey Robinson, none of that. No Michael Jordan, no LeBron James. We bust your ass in every category. That's just the reality. And attaching yourself to us is a way for you to benefit. We have no benefit. So stop the gaslighting, bro.
So, like I was saying, he said a bunch of things without saying anything. Even if you ask him 5 minutes from now, what did you say, bro? I can guarantee you he won't remember what he said. Because he just repeat and regurgitates some of the talking points that people who are not schooled, who are not really educated, who are not really informed, politically informed. This is how they talk. First of all, he tried to do the tribalism thing of saying African American versus African. First of all, who creates that dichotomy? Is white supremacy is the one that created that dichotomy that you are living in, that you think somehow your battle.
All right, DJ Genesis, Detroit. How you doing?
He said my whole government. I'm surprised you didn't say the last name.
I can't see it. Okay, now I see it. No, that's all it says. It says I'm looking at the Zoom.
It's okay. It's
DJ Genesis, Detroit. So you were not part of this panel, right?
I was. I'm on the right. I'm on the bottom right next to Sekou. I mean.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, you were talking. I did hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think about this bill hindsight? Looking back at it.
I really don't like the anti-Pan-Africanism, anti-African, anti-Caribbean, I don't understand why we are just now taking on the cloak of the white supremacists. It's like we're sounding just as a classist, and it's somewhat we're sounding like we're trying to take on the thing. Oh well, no, we're supremacists to you. You guys don't have any culture. You guys don't have any this.
Wait a minute, that wasn't our argument. That was their argument. First of all, we say the same thing about them. They are the ones in their homeland who says that we are Akatas. Like we don't have no word for them until recently, and that is just the ones who calls Akatas and things like that. So I have a slew of videos I play on my channel, slew of videos of people who never even been in America, and they're telling us that Black Americans are lazy, they don't have no culture, we don't belong in America, we're the white man pet. They never even been over here. We're talking about Rwanda, Nigeria. They got all these things to say about us, and guess what? They'll say themselves they got it from their mother, and the other ones will say they got it from the music or TV or movies. So that's white supremacy. Now you said anti-Caribbean, anti-African. I didn't hear one anti-Caribbean African statement. Remind me of one that you heard.
You guys don't have any people that rose up or did anything. You guys don't have this and that. Well, I believe that at some point these people that were rising up were Pan-Africanists. That's the reason why they were going over there trying to free and help out with apartheid and this, that, the other. This is a new generation of this where we're now like separating ourselves from that. I'm sure they probably was calling people the same thing back then too.
But no, they
weren't. You saying that they weren't?
No, they weren't.
They weren't?
Now look, yeah, let me just prep you. You talk about here in America?
No, I'm talking about like, okay, in the 60s. And I can also bring Baba Yashabaya here because he's like 79. He's an elder. And I know that you and him don't really agree.
Well, because okay, well, I'm gonna challenge you. Bring him over. I'm gonna challenge with the 1871 Constitution. I could actually fact check him. He's wrong. So, and all that charter of Great Britain, all that type of stuff. You bring him over here, I'm gonna challenge him. But you could finish. You said the 60s. What happened?
Well, I mean, we're in the 60s. These were like the people that were going over to Africa and doing stuff. You had Muhammad Ali going to Africa. You had Malcolm X going to Africa. People that were going over there. And then on top of that, you had people also going over there, like helping out with the apartheid situation. There was some level of, like, I would say Pan-Africanism that where we all felt like, based on the Marcus Garvey whole thing, that we were all like trying to help each other out and become one group of people.
Okay, so now you said help each other out. Well, what you did describe was one way. You said it's us going over there. Now, sis, okay, can you tell me of these leaders of 60s up to now? You could do Ibrahim Traoré. Which one of these leaders say, hey, those Black Americans deserve their reparations? Hey, those Black Americans, that's wrong what happened to George Floyd. Which one of these African leaders, these Jamaican leaders, Haitian leaders, which one of these leaders speak out on our injustice in America?
I don't know.
Exactly. So this is a one-way help. You describe Malcolm X, you describe Muhammad Ali. By the way, they're both from the same religion. So that's just what they were doing. Right. But it wasn't too many of us doing that because we were too busy. You said 60s. So this is a pre civil rights, right?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't over to 1968 with the FHA, the Fair Housing Act. That's when it was officially supposedly done on paper. But we're fighting for rights. So we can't help nobody. This is common sense. You cannot help nobody if you need help.
But we did help them. We were instrumental in helping to end apartheid. We were instrumental
we were voicing, of course, because we felt like tyranny somewhere is tyranny everywhere, the injustice, but we don't get the same love back. So when we had the civil rights movement, I recall people coming over here and then going abroad. I don't recall somebody leaving their homeland, coming over here, marching and getting bit by dogs and water holes down with us and fighting against the Klan and J. Edgar Hoover. I don't recall that same energy over here. It's always us going around helping everybody else that's Black for us just to hear, hey, like right now I could play an anecdotal video of a Nigerian woman saying she ain't Black. And she said her mom told her she ain't Black. They hate the word Black. Black just mean you don't know where you're from. So when we hear this rhetoric like that, and then I could play another Jamaican lady saying, hey, we don't see ourselves as you because we're immigrants. You guys got a whole black problem. We got an immigration problem. And that's why we're different. And you guys can't see that we're different because of that. We're immigrants, you're not. So when we hear that rhetoric, because the internet is big now. We didn't hear that back in the day because there's no big microphone like the internet that is now. So now we get to hear these folks talk. And it's not a one-off. We're hearing so many channels voice this same white supremacist talk. We don't have white supremacy talking points. I know white supremacy. I know their talking points. I debate Black conservatives, and I'm well aware and well versed on the white supremacist talking points. We don't say none of that stuff. That's what they say with us. They say we're failures. They say we got no, hey man, get up and work. Look, we come over here. We work hard, lying. saying they come over here and work hard. No, you don't, because you don't work hard at home. You don't work hard, you get worked hard. You come over here and do the jobs we won't do because they're not living wage jobs. Yeah, so you'll do some bullshit, but we ain't doing it because of our history. Like, we deserve way much more. We're being deprived of way much more. So yes, we're not gonna do peasant jobs. That's out. Like, we want our intellectual property to be valued. So nobody coming here as an asylum seeker or a refugee can talk about what we won't do for work when all this work was forced on us at one point.
You know what? I agree with you there. I'm a fair person, and then I even talked about the fact that when you go over to Africa, that you can't find a job over there, but you can come over here and find a job. We have to.
Right. I heard you say that. Yeah.
We have to, when we go over to Africa, they don't have nothing. You can't, and even when I did the interview with Mighty Hebrew, he talked about the fact that, even when you go over there, you have to funnel money over
he's
from
over there.
here over there.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So,
and here's the thing with that. The brother earlier was talking. He said remittance. Now, I told the bad side of remittance. Remittance is also negative because it doesn't incentivize the people, the natives, to work. You're getting free money. So, like, there's nothing for you to get up and create.
I'm sorry, what is remittance? What is remittance? I'm sorry.
Okay, remittance is when people work over here and send money back to their homeland. So people get money for no reason. Like, they just get this check from your, let's say, Nigerian mother or brother working in America as a doctor or something like that, and they send money back home to Africa or Mexico or Venezuela. That's remittance. And that seems a bad thing because it doesn't incentivize people to be creative, innovative inventors. They're just getting a free check sitting on their ass.
I agree with that. I'm not, at one point, I really followed like Dr. Yusuf Ben Yochanan and SETI. And so I got a lot of my like Pan-Africanism from like following that movement. I was the web developer for SETI. So, but I see, I follow even the FBA movement with Tariq Nasheed. I mean, I'm on there a few times. But the main thing I see is that, like, I think that, okay, so if we turn against them, then what happens? If
okay,
become the powerhouse, then what do we do?
But we never turned against them, though. Listen, this is what people get so confused what delineation is, what disaggregation is. It's a simple word that just means everybody, like, for example, Dominicans drew a line from the Haitians. Okay, so that's what they look alike, but they drew a line. You guys over there are Haitians, us over here are Dominicans. You got the Caribbeans or the West Indies, they drew a line. We're Trinidadians, Bahamians, that's drawing lines. They're saying, I'm this and you're that, and we're kind of the same, but we're still distinctive. We're uniquely different, right? And you got the Nigerians who drew a line with the Burkina Faso. They drew a line with the Malis because they're not all Burkina Faso. They're not all Mali. So you got the Igbo. They're all drawing lines. They're saying, hey, this is us. And this ain't you, but we don't got to go to war because this ain't you. This is just us. We have a shared history, shared experience, shared religion, shared way of doing things. And this is us and you are you.
But so don't you think there's like a certain level of weakness when we are like the majority all over the world, and then we begin to draw these lines, but the European is not drawing the same lines?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. You have Scottish, Europe. You got Scottish, you got Germans, you got Italians.
But when they come to America, they're white. There's no.
Wait. Hold on. No. Politically, they're white. So what you're okay. I also study the history of immigration in this country. Okay, so the whiteness you're talking about is those who are already here. When they had the Immigration Quota Act. Okay, that's 1917, 1924. Those whites, they were made white. But the Irish that come over here now, they're Irish. Now, politically, they're called white. But if you ask them what they are, they're going to say Irish. But if you ask their aunts, they're like forefather that came here in like the 1890s, they're going to say white because they were like, they adopted and embraced the whiteness that was given to them. Because let me explain. As I was explaining earlier, the New Deal is when everybody became white, right? So after the Great Depression, America was broke. So they had the New Deal, right? Where they had the unemployment insurance, they had welfare, which is known by the ADC, then the AFDC. They had all this stuff, the Veteran Bill, the GI Bill, and those Italians and those Irish people could not get it unless they were called white. So that's around the time when they embraced their whiteness. You couldn't be white You could not be white and get that assistance. That's why we never got it. So that's when they embrace their whiteness. But if somebody come over from Italy right now and you ask them what they are, I had a girlfriend who's straight Italian, sound like and everything. She said she's Italian. Like she'll say white, just like an African would say I'm African, but he'll say I'm Nigerian or I'm Ghanaian. So like they'll say white as a nationality to a degree, but they know they're Irish, Italian, and they're proud as hell. Or if they're from Russia or Slav, they all embrace their uniqueness from other Europeans. And I got a boy.
Here's the question though. Okay, yeah. So that's cool, but when it comes down to like getting together, they are not separating themselves from each other as a white group, right? So
they're not undermining each other like how we're being undermined. We come over here. So a lot of foreign blacks, when they're asked the reparations thing for Black Americans, and they're in a setting where their vote counts, I mean, which one said yes? They all said no. Like that's undermining us. You're coming to our world, you're stepping into our politics, you don't know what's going on with us and how we were sabotaged, undermined for 100 years, but you sit there and say, no, we're not deserving of, and these are people that's like players in their field, politicians and mayors and governors, they say no. So yes, so that type of undermining like that is an act of war as far as we're concerned.
I mean, I think that's true, because I was following the whole situation with California, and then to find out that a lot of those people were Caribbean.
Talk about no.
Including Candace Owens, that she's actually Caribbean too. Right. And it might be an issue of how they're being raised and how they're how they look at African Americans, because she's been like the loudest mouth, and now she's seeing for herself, like, yeah, you up here voting for Donald Trump, and now you see a bunch of Haitians having to like fight ICE, and I wanted to ask you a question about that. What do you think? Because I like really got into a huge argument with a person when I see that this this whole situation with immigration is going down. Like, do you think that at some point that could turn against us, this whole situation with Donald Trump and how he is doing this alligator Alcatraz, and kind of like I think that ICE is becoming like another police force that does not have the same laws and legalities with the people, and just rounding up people no matter what, and then sorting it out later. What do you think about that?
Yes, to answer it very quickly. If you was telling me about Puerto Ricans have been here since the 1940s, 1930s, that's legally here, and they're being deported, then you might have an argument. But if you're telling me about people who asylum seeker status expired, and they were supposed to go back, but they stay here, like those Haitians, okay, and they're getting deported. No, that's what happens. And you got these illegal, undocumented Spanish folks that's getting, and they're attacking the violent ones first, right, which they're rounding up. But if you're illegal in this, I don't have a problem with immigration that's legal. I never did. I've been vocal about that on my panel. But if you are illegal, I'm gonna get down Black, white, Hispanic, you got to go.
Well, listen, I just wanted to come up here and give some support. I know that you were covering this thing. You asked me to come up. I mean, I agree with you. I do agree with you. FBA all day. I'm a FBA.
I appreciate you.
And I don't want people to get it twisted. But I'm just like, at some point, I just feel like when things can be turned against us the same way, and we just like, oh, well, no, you're immigrant, and that's all, and that's it, and bump it, whatever. Well, they put this alligator Alcatraz up in 8 days. And they're going into like very small marginalized communities and doing.
Yeah, but we already experienced alligator Alcatraz with the penal system. We've been convict leased. We've been sharecroppers.
Well, now they have a whole new penal system that they are able to just throw people into.
Now, listen, I studied when we got convict leased to the coal mines and steel mills. These guys got soccer fields over there. These guys are playing soccer. Okay, these guys got air conditioning. What we experienced, they're nowhere near.
Have you seen Alligator Alley though? Have you?
Yes, I did. Okay. Yes, I did.
And it just got flooded out, and a lot of people would have probably died if they were in there. Listen,
this is why. But they had an alternative though. They were told to self-deport. You don't belong here. You're illegal. Self-deport, or we gonna come get you. So now if they detain you over there, that's your problem. You should have self-deported.
Right, but here's the thing: is that how can they differentiate? Okay, so say you're at the nightclub, right? How do they differentiate between a Haitian? Say you would go to a Caribbean reggae club, right? and they just round up everybody. How do they know if you're black or Caribbean?
See, but they don't do that though. See, and that's some of the liberals.
They went over into.
No.
I'm not liberal. I'm not.
No, not you. No, I didn't say
I'm not
you.
a liberal. I
didn't say you. I said that's part of the liberal spin. Right. Okay. So now I'm gonna say two things.
I am not a liberal. I do not.
I don't mind because I'm not like I give the conservatives the same smoke. Like I told you, I debated black conservatives.
But I want to make it plain that I am not coming up here as a liberal person, anti-Trump, I'm anti things that seem.
I'm not pro-Trump, but what I'm saying is this: conservative media and liberal media both lying and they're manipulating the public minds, right? So they'll show the police officers like roughing somebody up, liberal news, but they won't show the guy crashing his car into the ICE truck first. So like they and the conservative will stretch the truth as well. So both of them are manipulating media and truth. But I want to say this to you. Could you compare this to Alcatraz? Now, liberal media, aren't they defending those illegal undocumented Hispanics?
Sorry, say it again, because I'm sorry, I was doing.
Aren't there liberal news out there defending and going against ICE, supporting those undocumented immigrants?
Yes, yeah, there is.
Okay. So now ever compare them to us. The media has never defended us, Republican or Democratic.
My question is not.
Right, they're nowhere near us.
I just want to be clear because I went through. I've just had a whole argument with somebody else, and it got really heated. Is that when I'm talking about this, I am defending us. I'm defending the fact that there is a new police force that is able to cardboard.
Yeah, but I think that's fake news.
Can you let me? Can you let me? Go
ahead. Sorry about that.
Okay, because this ICE is a whole new group of people, and you're saying that it might be just fake news, but I've seen videos where they're not.
Yeah, videos.
But no, if I see a video of people jumping out of a car, grabbing people, not even. No, you look a certain way, and then that's it. That's
not. Yeah, but that's a video with a narrative. So
or is it people that are getting attacked and then they're
no, it's not because watch this. You have another media source who's showing another angle of the video. I just said that.
So they're getting out asking people. So are you documented? Are you?
No, they can't do that when it be. Wait, hold on. You can be disingenuous. They can't do that if they're being attacked by rioters. They got to get the hell out of there. But when they first started doing it without the rioting, they were doing that. They were coming to jobs, corporation. They was coming there, court hearings, and they were announcing themselves as ICE, and we're waiting on the guy when he's done with his court thing. So, but now,
but if you go to a construction site where a bunch of people are working at and you round everybody up, that's not the same thing as going to a.
But no, they're not. First,
in a courthouse, a hospital, or a.
Well, first of all, they're not doing that, right? That's the narrative.
That's a lie.
No, they're not. Yeah, because these folks are known. They're not going there any meaning, mighty mo, arresting people. Like they know who they're going for. They got pictures. Like these guys are like the U.S. Marshals. You dig? Except like they just deal with international criminals. These guys know exactly who they're looking for. Name. They know when they came to the country. They know when their visas or the green card expired. They know exactly who they're looking for, and they got pictures and everything.
So maybe my information is wrong and it's fake news. But I did see a news story, and it was on the news where they grabbed like 300 people. Only 30 of them were illegal. So when I hear stuff like this, whether it's true or not, I don't know whether it's true or not. I wasn't there. But when I hear a story that they grabbed 300 people, 30 of them were illegal, that means that
So what happened with the other 270?
They had to probably get processed out, but
no, they didn't sweep them. I guarantee you, if we chat GPT that story, I guarantee I do that on live.
I didn't chat GPT it. I actually looked up. Listen, because I doom scroll. Okay, I doom scroll. And
headline reader.
For some reason, my whole doom scroll is just like filled with this. So, and maybe it's because I'm clicking on it, but I just Instagram doom scroll and TikTok doom scroll, and it is just seeming like that people are just
TikTok and Instagram is the worst sources.
Rum shot into place, grab everybody up and sort it out later. And I said, well, that's not the way to go about. That's not cool. So you know what I'm gonna do? I want to do another show because I want to bring you on. But I know you're on a different platform with this UBS thing. But I wish if you had StreamYard, I'm willing to come on a show with you and discuss this because, I want to really get the real story. So, and I got to go because I'm getting calls and I got
Yeah. Okay, let me say
but
this.
I really want to work with you and stuff like that. And
I can't do StreamYard because I see Zoom provide me with a phone number. So StreamYard doesn't do that because a lot of folks don't want to click a link. They'd rather just call and just hang up. It's like easy access, easy get off. So that's why I like Zoom. They got the phone number feature. If StreamYard had that, I'll have StreamYard.
Well, I got like a call with the IRS and other stuff, but so just give me a sec. I will call you back.
Okay.
And I got like a show coming up. I will call you after I'm done and we'll set something up. We'll figure it out. All right.
If I'm not live, I hit you on IG. Just hit me there.
All right, for sure. Because I want to have the conversation. I really want to have I'm not like just closed minded. I want to know the truth. So, and I'm not just like just trying to ram house my ideas into it. I'm just like seeing what I'm seeing, and I'm like, what is going on? So
right.
And I might be wrong.
Yeah, I understand.
I will admit when I'm wrong. So, but I gotta go. All right, talk to you soon.
Reach out to me, please. Okay, so let me finish playing Sekou. All right, I think that's a good dialogue.
It's a battle with Africans. I don't know at what point you realize that it's your battle in life, that the struggle of Black people in the world is African American versus African. It's a false battle. It's a false fight that you are trying to create that doesn't exist. In fact, I would even say people who do that are cowards. Because they don't want to face the real opponent that we have, which is white supremacy, which has dominated the planet, which has destroyed our continent and kidnapped our people. It's the reality that we are all facing, whether you are in the diaspora or on the African continent. But those who are cowards, they decide to be into tribal mentality and say, oh, it is us versus this other group of Black people. Even if all Africans leave America today, all African, does that solve your problem? If all Black Americans leave Africa, does that solve African problem? So it's a fake battle. I'm not into it. And he said, Africans sold us. Who are the us? And who were the Africans in 14th, 15th century?
Okay, so this is what I mean. You cannot have an honest discussion with some of these tethers and Black FBA, some of them, and some Afrocentrics, and of course white supremacists. We just can't be honest. So there was no triangular slave trade, so Africans didn't sell. Now it's all of a sudden, what's the name of the African? So we're going to deny. So now they get mad at, you got folks claiming indigenous heritage in America. They say, hey, we were always here. They get mad at them and say, prove that, prove that. But now you want to act like Africans did not sell Africans to white people now. Now all of a sudden that's fairy tale. So hey, get them back right there. They come at y'all and say you were not always here. You came this way. Well, you say, hey, well, who sold us? Because apparently they're in total denial. And this ain't the first time I heard this. I know people personally who was trying to downplay the triangular slave trade, like as though white people just came in Africa and just took us, and they call it kidnap. So nobody was sold. So Africans didn't get, liquor and whatever they got, alcohol and oil and whatever they got in exchange. Like, so they got. So I mean, but again, people are revising history right in front of your face. So he's doing it right now.
Do you find any Yoruba moving around? Because I find go on brother Matthew Phillips' show, brother Obadele Kambon, Dr. Obadele Kambon, he just did a show on that. It is very anachronistic to say African sold African. First of all, the concept of African did not exist in the 14th, 15th century. People were into kingdoms and nations. So if you say, you sold us, so who was Sekou in the 14th century, and who were you in the 14th century? Did you?
Let me pause that to say, be active. I don't know what conversation you had with whoever, but you can't paste that conversation over here. We got our own thoughts over here. We're not a monolith. We're members of the 43 million lineage. All right. So you got to ask us what we think on certain things. And you can ask for the phone number and call in like sis.
You belong to a particular group that I went and captured and sold, It's a very foolish thing to think about. It's very anachronistic. The idea of African, or we seeing ourselves as a collective, is very recent. It's very, very recent. People saw themselves as kingdoms and different nations at the time. That you have to understand that, first of all. Second, you have to understand also most people that were sold were kidnapped. The primaries are there. The primaries are there.
You see, they're going to lie. Now, white folks just came into Africa and just kidnapped folks. Other Africans never sold us. They were just victimized. Oh, look, my cousin's leaving. White man got him. Like, this is just a bold-faced lie, yo. Bold-faced lie.
Yeah. And but Brother Obadele Kambon produced a lot of primaries. Most slaves were kidnapped with guns. This idea of your soul or your soul, but when we say,
I told y'all they were going to do this. I told y'all they're going to rewrite history and say Africans have never, the triangular slave trade is fake. I just said that. He just said it. This is a new tether argument. So just be prepared for it.
Bring primary documents. You are not able to bring anything. Most of the primary documents we have are Africans captured, sold. Millions of documents available to show that. Go on Dr. Kam's show right now. He shows you a lot of documents in Portuguese, in Spanish.
Yeah, we're gonna go to part. Yeah, I'm not trusting no tether document, especially not from Nigeria. The scamming capital. I'll pass.
Where they are literally saying we are going to capture these people. We kidnap this amount of people from the farm, royal families. Who capture their royal family and sell them? If you can capture people who are kings or people who are from royal background and sell them into slavery, how do you do that? You have to capture them by means of war. So for me, we have to elevate the conversation. This is a very lazy conversation.
Didn't I say that earlier, y'all? Didn't I say that earlier?
That's so stupid.
Yeah,
no, it's not. No, it's not.
We need to elevate the conversation to say nobody is against you. If you like, call yourself FBA. Call yourself. I don't know who is against you really. No one. I'm not sitting here as an African. I'm saying I'm angry because somebody called themselves FBA. What is my business? If you like, call yourself Chinese, black, or whatever you want to call yourself. But what you need to know, you are the only people on the planet having this conversation. You don't find Chinese discussing their Chinese diaspora is the cause of their problem. You don't find Europeans who were exiled in the New World calling their fellow Europeans who are coming right now names. Donald Trump family just immigrated to America. They met the other white people who were there, who were brought there by the British.
Yeah, look how long he gets to rant. This is wild.
They united under the idea of white supremacy, how they can be on top. What is the advantage to you to unite with the rest of the black? People in the world, or to divide them? Do you gain more power by segregating yourself into a little group and say, oh, we have Muhammad Ali, you don't have Muhammad Ali? That sounds like a house Negro plus the field Negro story. Oh, I live close to the white man. We eat more food than you guys. I'm the only black guy living in a white neighborhood.
My thing won't come off mute. But you see how entitled these tethers are? They're going to sit here and teach us how to be foundational black Americans.
I'm the only black guy who drives a cyber truck. You guys don't have cyber truck. You sound like a kid. That's not a conversation. If you have Muhammad Ali and Africa don't have Muhammad Ali, well, Chinese don't have Muhammad Ali, but China is the second greatest nation on earth.
Yeah, I mean, you're just cherry picking, but you don't have nothing. You don't have a Frederick Douglass. You don't have a Paul Cuff. You don't have a A. Philip Randolph. You don't have a Dr. King. You don't have nothing. But yeah, why you just say Muhammad Ali? We're talking about you have nothing going on over there. That's why you over here hating on us.
Russia doesn't have Muhammad Ali. Russia is one of the most powerful countries. Why are you making Chinese arguments?
Please let me respond to him, sir.
Yeah, chocolate bunny.
Okay. You don't have the basketball player. We have the. That's like my 6-year-old son having an argument like a toddler. How can we be adults and be sitting here?
Now this guy literally he just ranted. Like he didn't. I'm thinking he's gonna close out and make a point and respond to some of Queen and Lex talking points. He just ranted. There's a lot of FBA hate. Like just tether babble.
This is like children. So what I'm telling you, we need to look at Black people being allies of each other. Does it help us politically, economically, or segregating ourselves help us? And I can tell you, with anyone who has political knowledge or understanding of political science will tell you the solidarity of Black people is the only way we can easily win battles. And Malcolm X showed you that. Why did Malcolm X go to Africa when he formed his organization to go and unite with other African nations and see how he elevate the conversation to the UN?
Okay, another thing, like these tethers think they know about Malcolm X. First of all, I believe when Malcolm X went to Africa, he wasn't even with the Nation of Islam no more. If I recall correctly, like so, this was an individual quest. Okay, did he come back with Africans? That's the thing. He went to Africa, and what did he set up? Like, so finish the story. What did he set up when he went to Africa? He came back like, damn, those damn savages, man. Let me stay right here in America.
Muhammad Ali went to Africa.
Damn. All right, can I respond to him now?
Hold on.
I'm gonna let you go. Let me let you go.
Malcolm X has an African name. His African name is Omowale.
I'm gonna show you how to cook a ham mic in a second.
Yeah, ain't no us.
Do you know Malcolm X's African name is Omowale?
Ali Boombaye. Ali.
I don't give a damn what.
Yeah, you don't give a damn, but I'm.
Hey, yo, why did they do that? Malcolm X's name was. I don't know if that's true or not, but so what? Like, so is Malcolm X our leader now? like they keep trying to make somebody our leader to say, see, no, okay, Malcolm X got the right to change his name to a Latin name, Greek name, African name. It's okay, ain't nobody follow after him.
I'm telling you, he's not thinking like you because you are using him now as a currency, but he didn't think like you. He went and settled he unite with an African and brother looking for solidarity. This is how wise people think, is to unite with every allied forces in the world for you to be able to achieve your goal.
Hey, so let me give Black American Homeland a wrench. I'm gonna need you to come on when I go live again, brother. I need you to tell that story. He said, I lived and traveled through 10 African countries. 50 million Black Americans have more wealth than all 53 African countries combined. And you know, I'm gonna add to that because I actually researched our innovations and inventions over here and compared them to all of the diaspora in Africa. And I think if we ain't beat them, we're very close. But I think we have more innovations and inventions in America than all of Africa and the diaspora combined. I'm not 100% sure if that's exactly correct, but if I'm not correct, we're close to have more innovations and inventions than all of them. So I could believe Black American Homeland. I'm gonna need him or her to one day come over here and tell that story.
America that you are mentioning, America has never been.
Y'all tell me I'm long-winded. This is
America. I recommend you to read this.
Nah,
I don't know if you like reading. White Malice.
Hey, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Listen, I'm going to end.
Yeah, look at this bullshit book. They still reading books like that. The big. I'm not, dude. You read that. You're from Africa. I'm not reading.
White Malice is based on declassified documents. How the CIA, the United States government, contributed penetrating Africa.
Okay, here we go with the government. Don't make me play the government song because I do got the government song, by the way. I will play the government song. Okay, so now he's going with the government.
African country and overthrowing African government, undermining African development. This is And
yeah, they always wait. Okay, we can't believe him because he just said there was no triangular slave trade. He just said Africans did not sell Africans. He said pretty much that's like a lie. Like that's like embellished. That's an embellished lie. He said typically or pretty much white people went over there and just kidnapped Africans. Like they just kidnapped gazillion Africans. They just kidnapped gazillion Africans. And they just went willingly. And now we're supposed to believe that the CIA of America is the reason why Africa is failing. Okay.
Black people as well. They were doing it both to African American and black people. When Kwame Nkrumah organized the first African conference in 1958, the civil rights leaders in America, they were there. They were represented. Guess who America sent? They sent CIA to infiltrate that organization to make sure black people.
Well, first of all, Kwame, whatever his name is, I heard he was a dictator in his own right over there in Ghana. So again, this is just tether babble, but he's allowed to just go until he just pass out.
The Africans on the continent never unite, never join forces, and this book reviewed all the evidence. So you are playing the devil advocate right now.
Carlos.
You
Urban,
are continuing
same day.
the job of the CIA to disunite black people on
Polo
the planet
Styles,
on the basis of tribal.
Right.
Yelling. That's facts. That is facts.
Now, hold on. Stop it.
Hold up.
All
Wait
the
a minute.
glazing.
Something ain't right.
Hey, I just want to
hold on.
I'm gonna let you go right now, Lex. I just want to let you know this is the same brother that beat up Unc. That Unc jumped in his lane, and so you're about to jump in his lane.
Now, by the way, I had a conversation with that guy. I was on another panel. He was light work. He was easy work. This dude ain't tough. If y'all got this guy social media handle, invite him over here.
Would you like to have a one-on-one with him, a discussion?
Yeah, it's sure. I would.
Okay,
me too.
We'll pick that up. Go ahead. For now, you got the floor, Lex. You got the floor, brother. Lex, are you there?
He might be having difficulty.
Every black person that Lex Vortex mentioned is the white supremacist construct attacked every single one of them.
Let me get Brother La before Lex come back in. Brother La, what up?
And then don't forget I'm up here, honey. Peace to everybody.
Peace.
Say cool.
Go ahead, Brother La.
Hey, Brother La. Nagadep.
Magnifique, ça va?
Jamarek, wallahi, magnifique.
Nagalegevi.
What's all this tether babble that they doing?
Wow, wallahi, magnifique.
Magnifique, ça va?
Jamarek, wallahi, magnifique.
Nagalegevi.
What the hell?
Wow, Allah Bahanam.
Sorry.
Yalla Bahanam. Yalla Bahanam.
Wow. Alhamdulillah. I just wanted to tell you, brother, shukran. That was marvelous. It was strategic, the way you just executed that.
Yeah, are these guys in fantasy land? They thought old boy was cooking. Like he got to talk for 30 minutes straight without being interrupted. Like, that don't mean he's right.
I'm thankful for all the people that were wondering what I was just saying to him.
Nah, we don't
I was
care.
having a dialogue with him early in a conversation in the African language, which is named Wolof.
Hey, bro, we don't give a damn what you were saying in the African language, bro. We speak English, man.
Of the show by Senegalese people. That being the case, I have to turn on to say, brother.
Yo, we are uninterested in what you just said.
That just made my that just put a smile on my face and made my heart smile. Thank you, brother.
All right, Lex, you're back. You got the floor, brother.
Yeah, so he lied about that. African leaders and even African queens and queens have admitted that their wealth came from slavery. And these people were going to war with each other. And they were capturing other people from other tribes and selling them. Now, if you're trying to tell me that's a lie, you are a liar, bro. And you know it. Somebody was selling people to these Europeans and Arabs. And it was African Maybe they wasn't called African at the time. What difference does it make now? They are the people. You know who we're talking about. You know what place we're talking about. We know the tribes that did it. Okay, and that's how we got over here. So the Africans worked with the Europeans and the Arabs to sell people, you know, and all of us didn't even come from the slave trade. Some of us was already here. Second, he talked about, you know, all these people who was involved in Pan-Africanism. He tried to throw Malcolm X in there. What came of it? What came of it? Nothing.
That's exactly what I said. I said he went over there and did what? What was established? Like nothing.
And then how there's 1 billion people on the African continent alone. There's more so-called people of melanin in Africa and America. Y'all ain't got together yourselves. You know why? Because Ghanaians hate Nigerians. I have a Ghanaian friend, and he tells me how his father hates Nigerians and blames the Nigerians for certain conditions in Ghana.
Hey, Saneda, drop a bomb on that. They blame the Nigerians for certain conditions in Ghana. Drop a bomb on that, man.
But you want to come over here and gaslight us talking about I'm being divisive. When did I ever say we had a fight against Africa? And this is how you know they're tethers, y'all. How does honoring my lineage wage war on Africa? Name one thing foundational Black Americans have did to harm Africa. Nothing.
You join white supremacist military.
Yo, be quiet. Let him speak.
You lost goofy thinking you're a Hebrew. Shut up, please. So, by honoring my lineage, I'm waging a fight against Africans? No. No, the problem is Africans joined in with white supremacy. That's why when Kwame Ture finally stood up like a man in Africa, it was the Nigerians and the ECOWAS. They were talking about going to war with Kwame Ture on behalf of the French.
Wow.
Don't gaslight me, you goddamn Hamite. So how you gonna come over here talking like I'm divisive and y'all ain't even together in Africa like that? Matter of fact, it's worse. The tribalism is 100 times worse. And we already accepted you. So how am I being divisive by honoring my lineage? Not at all, sir. You're a liar and you want to benefit off being Black. Second of all, when I mentioned the great people in my culture, it was not to be childish. It's to let you know I have cultural pride in my people and what we do. I'm not downing you. I'm sure Dikembe Mutombo is a legend in Africa. You should big him up. I'm telling you, he ain't got nothing on Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, Ibrahim Traore? All right.
That's cultural pride, sir. It's not, and just because I acknowledge my lineage, how am I waging war on Africa?
Right.
Not at all. Again,
yeah, they are weird,
in the modern day, let's look what's going on right now. If I'm from Africa, I should be able to get on a plane and just say I'm back home.
Right.
And my brother should say, welcome home.
Right.
Even with the Mexicans. In America, when the Latinos come, do you know they wipe their records? Give them a new social security card, a new start, a new life, and they're not even, that's just people coming here. But I can't easily just go to Africa and do, and you know why? Because you call me a Kata, Jareers, and all that stuff because we're different. So don't get, and then you want to talk about do I read? Bro, I've read every book I'm sure you ever read. All Dr. Ben's work, John Judy Clark's work, John G. Jackson's work, any work, Sheikh Anta Diop's work, all of that work. Dr. Amos Wilson, I know all about Pan-Africanism. And I'm telling you, it was a pipe dream. That's what it was. I was into it until I realized that your people do not have the same sentiments. Now, you can get on here and say that on the internet, But when we react in real life, it's different. The socio-political reality is different. And then he said, do you become a more powerful group by isolating us? Actually, we do. In this environment, in America, we ain't concerned about y'all over there, right? See, that's what you don't get. And that's what's worrying them, y'all, because they need, I know, we concerned about what's going on in America. And in America, being black and having everybody be black is not beneficial to the real black people. You know why? Because when a Nigerian goes out here and shoots somebody, that's a black statistic. See, it becomes black when it's negative. But when a Nigerian goes to college, oh, the Nigerians are doing better than the blacks. So y'all are gaslighting, bro. They say Nigerians are doing better than blacks per capita. They become why don't they just say, oh, black men are doing it? Why is that a separate category for them? Why are they saying they better than us? Because they're different, bro. These people hate us. We love. Love you. You trying to turn it around. Like I'm making division. You hate us, bro.
Oh my God. I'm gonna stop muting the damn thing because my son in the background crying. I did a whole damn diatribe. All right, listen. I was just helping Lex out right there. I'll be very quick. Okay, so when they say Nigerians are doing better than Black Americans, well, guess what? They're not only doing better than Black Americans, they're also doing better than white Americans and Indians and Chinese people. So let me explain. These Nigerians that they brag about, they don't represent their country, and neither does the smart Chinese people over here do, and neither does the smart Indians, the VVEX. They do not represent their country. They are, listen to this word, they are hyper selected. So you guys can Google selectivity, Google hyper selection. These people are the top 5% of their country. So the Nigerians that come over here, the Indians like Vivek come over here, the Chinese people come over here, they are the top 5% of their country. So they're comparing the average layman, laywoman, the late black layman, laywoman to a top 5% elitist group. You don't do that. You can. That's why they look, family. Only tethers and white supremacists will compare us to elitist groups. Other professionals, they only, thank you, they only compare immigrants with immigrants, right? The immigrant group with immigrant groups, and they compare us with white folks. So they compare a whole with a whole, and they compare a fraction with a fraction. Scholars and professionals, they do not compare immigrant groups with white Americans or black Americans, and not even Spanish Americans, because again, that's their elitist class. So what they could do with a better argument is compare their elitist class with our elitist class, and we'll run circles around them. Okay, and then let's compare our black laymen and laywomen to their tethered laymen and laywomen. We'll cook them, because their GDP per capita in Nigeria, I think, is like $700. You dig? Some people make $2 a day out there. So yeah, folks who've been around here for a long time, they know I'm sharp with my Nigeria research. These guys are doing bad, and don't let me bring up Mokoku, the floating city, the floating slum, they call it. Okay, so yeah, you cannot bring up Nigeria, you can't bring up Jamaica and all these places with me, because I know I researched and read a lot about these African countries that's failing, even Sudan. I'm gonna cook Myron on Sudan, and I go on and on and on. But hyper selection, that's a bad faith argument to compare a top 5% to a whole 100%. No, you compare a top 5% to a top 5%, and you compare 100% to 100%. It's a bad faith argument. It's evil, it's hateful, it's terrorist, it's white supremacist.
Who hate us, and we don't like your hairlines or that bush meat. So we ain't going for it, bro. Peace.
Yeah.
Okay, let me respond to that quickly, Netta.
All right, go ahead.
And then can I go after?
Yes, yeah.
Thank you.
Right, and that's another great point by Lex. Hey, if we're all the same, then there's no Nigerians doing better than us. We're all Nigerian. We're all African. We all get the credit. But I knew we were different because I was thinking like that until Hussein Bolt came around. Okay, when Hussein Bolt started to break all these records, I'm cheering for him. I became a supreme Hussein Bolt fan. I watched his 200 races, his 100 races. I rooted for him over Black American track athletes. Until then, I got hit with the dosage of reality. They was like, yeah, no, he with us. This is how Jamaicans were talking. No, that's us. Your guy is over there, the loser, second place guy. No, Hussein Bolt is us. So I was like kind of confused. Like, I thought we were all in this together, brother. Not yet. It's raining. We can't leave right now. So yeah, so that was my first reality. Oh, okay, these folks are delineating. So that's why when it was time to delineate, it came easy to me because I remember all of that type of rhetoric. But it's all good because we are delineating. We have delineated.
Said but they don't like us, and he said the same things again, the same talking point, repeating this enmity that exists between Black people. What I'm
did Africans tell us? Are you saying they didn't?
No, you can't talk now.
I just want him to answer that question because
he let you talk, brother. You can't do that.
First of all, it's inaccurate for you to say you guys sold us. It's anachronistic to say African sold African. Is anachronistic because that, first of all, that concept of African identity did not exist at the time. Kingdoms were fighting against kingdoms, and people were capturing their prisoners of war and do whatever they want with them. That is one point. Second point, mostly were kidnapped. There's evidence to it to show. I don't know if you have read the letter of King Alfonso of Congo that he sent to Europe to tell that the Christians were coming here with the ship and kidnapping, taking the people, and he does not want it to continue. That was an African king, and he was against it. There's so many of the Europeans themselves left notes behind. And I urge you to watch the video, the primary document that was shown by Dr. Obadele Cambon on Philip Matthew's show. He showed you a lot of documents where the Portuguese left document that they were literally going to kidnap people. Now, this talking point you are repeating, I'm telling you, is politically motivated. These are politically charged terms created by white supremacists and the media. You just said right now when a Nigerian gets into And when he commits crime, they put it on the black statistics. But when he graduates, they call him Nigerian. Who is the they? It's the media. What media? The white European media in America. We black people have a media to name ourselves, to give our own statistics? The Africans that you are talking about to say, oh, have you read African intellectuals writing where they exclude the African diaspora? You said you read Cheikh Anta Diop. Did Diop exclude when he was writing about cultural identity? Did he exclude Black Americans or diaspora to say they are not part of Africans? You said you read African scholars. What is their position? But what you do, you pick up talking point on the street of people who are not schooled and use it as if this is the mouthpiece of African people. So when you put a YouTube on right now and find one YouTuber that says, oh, I don't like African Americans, say, oh, that's the African right there. He doesn't like African American.
Okay, now that's not gonna fly, because you know it's funny when we just say, hey man, we're delineating, we're FBA. We don't hate towards anybody else. Hey, FBA and reparations do us exclusively. That's it. That's all. They say that's hate, but then everything he said on that panel about us was pure hate. Like, yo, look, we gonna do what we gonna do. You do what you want to do, man. He's trying to make us his friend. Like, nah, I don't want to build an alliance with you, definitely, and probably some of your folks either. And that's not hate. That's my business. I'm gonna do business with FBAs, and if I choose to expand and go here and go there, I'll do that as well. But right now, this might not be the best time. Too much hate.
Well, I can show you hundreds of video of people who call themselves African Americans say a lot of things. I've even found on the Hebrew channel that even showed that African people are Negro and they are the real.
Oh man, you got a bunch of tethers in the Hebrew camp, so stop it. Don't even go there. That whole doctrine where Hebrews, saying what they saying. You got Hispanics saying it because they're in the camp. You got some guys that look like they white in the camp and some damn tethers in there. So stop it.
Black people showing this fake pseudoscience evolutionary pictures to say this is how African evolved, and they evolve how we are ugly, and you guys are more, you have European DNA, you are more handsome. Ridiculous things and things like that. But I am well educated. I've read books by African American intellectuals, so I'm not fooled. I'm not reading, I'm not looking at those talking points on YouTube as if that is the opinion of African American people. No, I don't do that. I look at the scholarship, the culture, the history, and I go beyond the talking point of people who don't have any.
Hey, yeah, look, I already cooked them with Sonetta, the small dialogue I had with him. But I would love for a longer dialogue. But he won't do this. I make sure to not let him talk as long as this. He did, like, I'm gonna say make a point and stop, and I address it. Then you go. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make points and stop. You do a long-winded rant.
Understanding. So what you are doing, you are picking talking points of people who have no.
And guess what? We can play video to video. You could try to find Foundation Black Americans being nasty towards some of y'all tethers, and I doubt you're gonna find too many. But I got a lot of videos of tethers disrespecting us for no reason. So we could go tit for tat.
No understanding of our shared history, of our common history, and our common struggle. What I'm telling you now is that America
Everybody's like the video.
Just
Thank
an
you.
institution
press like.
that calls itself America today, and you have a citizenship called passports. The day the white men go get angry at each other, they can tear that institution down. You will call yourself something else by then.
Yo, what the hell is this dude talking about, man?
Okay.
Yes, I know the half sleep.
America can disappear tomorrow, and you will call yourself something else tomorrow. What I'm trying.
Okay, now that's pure hatred coming from his mouth. We'll call ourselves something different. If he does, that's all right. Because if y'all keep co-opting our terminologies, yes, our terms, yeah, we're gonna call. If y'all start calling yourself Foundation Black America, we're gonna switch it up. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Give me. You don't do that. Give me.
Trying to say the solidarity of Black people is what matters, even on the continent. The tribalism you mentioned, that's true. Tribalism exists on the African continent. Who is denying that? In fact, it's one of the impediments to our progress. And this is the same tribal mentality you have right now. It's the same tribal mentality you are criticizing in Africa. It's what you are demonstrating right now. You are unable to see beyond your tribe. You are unable to see our common interest beyond your tribe. That's what is suffering. That's what is bothering you. You think like an average tribalist in Africa. He thinks his tribe is under threat. He thinks his tribe is if the resources is not given to his tribe, then there is a problem. If his tribe is not in politics in the position of power, then there is a problem. He fails to see beyond his tribal identity, to look at the national and international black interest. That's where I want you to evolve to that level. I'm not against your FBA identity. You can have whatever identity you want. But can we have a...
Yeah, my man says all that rant. Y'all gonna call yourself this and call yourself that. Like he just making shit up. But then says, I'm not against FBAs. Yo, they all do that, man. They throw rocks and hide their hands and be like, hey, brother, can we do business? Can we get along? Like, no, brother, just hold your own nuts time.
Common black interest globally. Europeans are doing it. What is NATO?
The difference
NATO is a European alliance. There is no Chinese in NATO. It's white people.
Hey, mute out till
they cannot pay you reparation, but they can give billions to Ukraine. They can't give you reparation, but they can give billions to Israel.
Hey, by the way, for y'all coming in new, I'm giving y'all wrenches. If y'all FBA, make it known. I give you a wrench. If you're not FBA, but you're a supporter, just put supporter. I give you a wrench. And if you're a hater, you can't get a wrench. And if I gave you a wrench by accident, I'll get it from you because you're going to eventually express that tether hate.
Because you don't matter in the equation. That's what I'm telling you. It's not because it's you. It's all of us. Black people anywhere. White people will always create a system where you will be at the bottom of the ladder. That's the argument. And we are saying we can be in solidarity to each other.
Nope, 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 no. We don't need you at all. You don't speak for your people. Okay. All his lies you're spewing. He act like he's the leader of the tethers. No. That's not how we doing this, bro. We don't need a solidarity moment, dude, with you. We're still reaching out to other foundational Black Americans, to other American descendants of slavery, and to other American freedmen. We're still doing that task. We're still reaching out, spreading the message. We're still trying to signal boost the message that, hey, you are unique, you're distinctive, and you have gone through an ethnogenesis, and because of that, you have a unique name, and you're different from other Black people, like they're different from you. You're a foundational Black American, Adolf, Freedman, whatever name you like to tag onto yourself, doesn't matter. Your lineage, it's about the lineage. Not even about the name, it's about the lineage. Okay, so we're still trying to signal boost the message to the rest of our people that doesn't know what's going on, don't know this whole thing that we're doing. This whole historical moment that we're doing. So no, we don't have time to spread ourselves thin. We're going to stay strong, solid, and tight. And we're going to just reach our own. And then from there, if we see alliances out there that want to do something, okay. But right now, it's mission FBA.
You don't have to be African if you don't want to. I'm a Mandingo man. But the most important identity to me is not Mandingo, it's Pan-Africanism. It's African global unity. Because that's what will scare, that's what will make me to be equal with the Chinese. That's what will make me to be equal with the European. It's not my Mandinga-ness. Who knows a Mandinga after I leave Africa? Nobody sees me on the street and say, that's a Mandinga going over there. They'll say, that's a Black man going over there. So it is that identity that I try to empower. If I go to a place where Black man is not empowered, it doesn't matter whether I'm African American or Nigerian, I will have the same challenges. Where they shoot a Black man in New York.
Oh, my headache. Yo, this dude is going to all the tether strong talking points. Now he's just like us. Dude, when you go to get a bank loan, your name is not going to be Henry Smalls, my boy. Your name is not going to be Michael Johnson. You're not going to have an FBA name when you go ahead. Put that down. But you're not going to go get a loan, right, with an FBA name. You're going to go get a loan with an African name. And just off of that, you'll be treated differently. Stop.
Ice Keller and Mandinga African will not survive there. So you can see we have a common struggle. Can we build an alliance towards that common struggle? It's all we are saying. You can call yourself whatever you want, no problem.
How many Nigerians are being shot down by the police, bro? This is what I'm saying. It's still gaslighting, bro. Because you say we got the same tribalism and that they have in Africa, and I got the same mentality in America. Sir, foundational Black Americans have not cut the limbs off the Yoruba people. We don't attack Africans in no way. We don't try to. This is what I'm saying.
Right. And when we asked them for proof, like, hey, can you show me FBA's attacking Africans? Like, again, just like sister I was on earlier, they're gonna get the cherry picked version. They're gonna show us defending ourselves. Okay, they always show Tariq Nasheed getting on a tether, but they never show the tether called in and started the whole roasting. They always show him roasting, but they never show when the tether started the roasting, started the undermining, the whole argument, questioning, all that type of stuff. They never show that. They just show our response. That's it. So we want to show us just attacking Africans or other Blacks of the diaspora for no apparent reason. You're not going to find it, but we can definitely show you videos of you guys attacking us for no apparent reason.
He's trying to change it
into the murder rate in Chicago
into I'm waiting.
Okay, wait.
The murder rate in Chicago.
I'm waging war.
Okay, so now this is trying to say, like, these guys can't tie my shoes. He said, what's the murder rate in Chicago? Okay, well, I will say this: Chicago is a small city in the United States. Okay, watch this. Jamaica has been the king of the murder rate for decades. So what I say is Jamaica is the Chicago of the world. Chicago is a murderous city that's not even like crazy like that, like it was in the United States. It's a tiny city in the United States. Jamaica, the whole country, has been the murder capital of the world. Jamaica is the Chicago of the world. Okay? And I can cook Jamaica. I've done it before. You guys heard it. I can cook Jamaican. Because I know more Jamaica than the average, not all Jamaicans, but I know more about Jamaica than the average Jamaican. Like their dirty laundry is what I mean. Not the politics shit like that, but their dirty laundry.
Against Africa. And what I'm saying is, I know you're a tether because the fact that I'm honoring my lineage, you're saying I'm waging war.
No.
What am I doing to you besides saying I'm not you? And you're a lie. When y'all walk down the street, they know the difference between you and us. It's a clear difference. We can try to act. Yeah, we have common interests. We have shared ancestry. We don't deny that. But so does everybody else. The Brazilians have a lot of shared, and the Mexicans have African ancestry. But today we're different people groups with different cultures and different aspirations. I'm not saying I hate you. I'm not saying that we can't work together. I'm saying, why do you think I'm waging war on you?
Be active. I don't know what you're doing, but I had to block you. I don't know if you're FBA. I don't think you are, but like your grammar is so poor. I don't know what you're saying. So I'm trying to read through the poor grammar, but it sounds like you're being disrespectful. So I had to block you. But if I'm not being disrespectful, but if you're not being disrespectful, then you might want to email me or hit me up another fake ass name and explain yourself. But I had to block you, bro.
Just because I'm delineating who I am. That's what makes me think you're a tether. Because I haven't in no way did anything to your family. I haven't tried to affect you financially. I haven't tried to harm you physically. And then you spoke about reparations. Bro, understand, I want to know, do you know what's going on in America? The reason why the delineation movement became so important, because you had people like Candace Owens, a Caribbean, telling us that we didn't deserve reparations. Recently in California, the Congressional Black Caucus, 90% Caribbean, shot down reparations. Recently in Baltimore, Westmore, a Caribbean, shot down reparations. So I'm trying to tell you that this is not personal. If you really want to talk about political astuteness, then you would have to understand, in order for us to take back our political power, I cannot let Sekou come here and speak for me as a black man if he's a Mandingo with different aspirations. I can't let Candace Owens do it. I can't let Kamala Harris do it.
Let me get
I
Dorsey
can't even let Barack Obama's hamite ass do it. Why? Because they undermine us. So you're acting like I'm doing this out of hate. Like I'm just some person. No, nigga, I was a Pan-African for years. Until I woke up and realized it was a pipe dream. Address the Congressional Black Caucus. Address the reason the Africans didn't let the Haitians into the African Union. And then address the fact that Nigeria wanted to attack Burkina Faso. And then address your African leaders. I have a friend in Zambia. His family is billionaires. There's 200 million orphans with HIV walking around them. They got gates around their house. They got guards. What I'm saying is you don't practice it here over there. Then you want to come over here and tell us what to do. Tell us how to act. Get it together in your raggedy homeland first before you can preach to me.
Yeah, thank you. And before you respond to that, Sekou, I really want to come in and ask some questions because
no, hold on, because I don't want you to take it nowhere else.
No, I'm not taking it anywhere else.
Hold on for a minute, please.
You said I've been waiting here for 20 minutes.
Please. This is between these two right now.
I know it's not about. I'm on the panel.
I want to stay cool.
Okay, so I guess there's a part 3. Cause that was part 2. So I'm guessing there's a part 3. But Dorsey, peace. Jove Han said black people do deserve reparations and can produce proof of lineage. Yeah, exactly. Lex is cooking right there. I usually don't agree with Lex, but he's fire. Yeah, I mean, Lex argues different things. He studied different things, so he's always debating something, right? Right. He's a man of many studies. But I gotta agree with you. He's cooking on his FBA thing. Like this might be his thing. So here's your boy.
Dude, I'm totally in love with her, bro. Like, she's totally so cool, bro. Rad, dude. Totally, bro. Like, dude, the girl was like fiending.
Okay, so I believe. Okay, so this is a tether who teaches other tethers how to be FBA. So right now, I guess he's trying to teach them how to be a white supremacist. Okay, so yes, I guess he's trying to teach them how to be a white supremacist. But listen to this fool, and they actually pay him.
Over me, bro. Like, dude. Totally. What is up, YouTube? It's your boys Collins, and today we're back again with another episode of English with Collins. First and foremost, I want to thank every single person that has honestly been subscribed to this channel. You guys have completely blew my expectations. We are at 20,000 subscribers, and I can't believe this. We're still growing every day, and I
told you. And all the subscribers are tethers, and they're trying to learn how to cosplay as FBAs. I guess this video right here, he's trying to teach them how to cosplay like I guess both of us, because he's using our slangs and he's using I guess white supremacist slang.
About something small. For example, I can't believe he's still salty about losing the game last week. That's exactly how salty is basically used in a sentence. Now the second one is bail. Bail. Now the meaning of bail means to leave abruptly or to leave immediately. So when somebody says, this party is lame, let's bail and go grab some food, meaning that
this party is lame. So I guess he's trying to teach. He's saying, yo, pick who you want to be. You want to be a Foundation Black American? I give y'all their slang. If you want to cosplay as a suburban white supremacist, I'm gonna give you that slang. But he's dead serious. He charges a consultation, and he got courses where tethers take his classes to learn either how to be a white supremacist or to cosplay as a Foundation Black American. He's dead ass. This word right here, he's not joking. He's not trolling. He's dead ass.
Dead about getting this thing done. Ain't no more excuses, okay? Meaning that I'm very serious about getting this job done. I am not going to give myself any more excuses. I'm going to get it done. The next term is throwing shade. Throwing shade. We're bringing it back again. Throwing shade. As you already know, the meaning of throwing shade is to disrespect or criticize someone in a low.
Last one.
Most of the females over there, they speak. The first slang word is the Valley Girl.
Listen to the guy.
Actually had a name for this type of English. The original name is the Valley Girl English, or in other words, the Valley Girl slang. So when you go to California, this is exactly how most of the females over there, they speak. The first slang word is like. Like. For example, this is how it would be used in a sentence. Dude, the waves were like totally insane, bro. I was like riding them for hours, dude. And it was like the best session ever.
Yeah, this dude can teach a tether how to cosplay as a white supremacist or a foundation Black American. This is his promo. Like, he's dead ass, yeah. Yeah, I use him just for, like, you know, to be humorous, but he's dead ass. And then he's getting paid. He's getting paid something decent too. All right. So I'm this guy, how low can you go? Okay, so I'm gonna leave it right here. I'm outside, it rain, sun, rain, sun, rain, sun. Now sun is out again. It's baking out here. So I plan to go live a little later. I'm gonna do a reaction. So Tariq Nasheed did a video so he did another video for another tether to explain what a tether is, what it ain't. So I'm gonna do a quick reaction on that, and I'll probably be done until tomorrow morning. But I'm gonna keep trying to go live and do long lives so we can all be entertained and have fun, chop it up. We could talk more probably tomorrow. It was just too hot out here, man. So yeah, I want to call in, hit the link, let me know. All I ask in return, just like the video on your way out. As always, I appreciate you guys, respect you, be one to all of my family.